Yo, 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 welcome to the KillJoy Jake YouTube channel, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. That music's a little loud, isn't it? Here we go. Let's turn that down a bit. All right, welcome in, welcome in. It is another crazy stream here just on YouTube, unfortunately, because for some reason I can't get it to stream on Kick. But that is, you know, we got a lot of announcements. We got a lot of fun things to talk about before we get into this kind of late stream. So, first things first, I am going to start streaming on Kick here very soon, another streaming platform that I think is awesome. Can't figure it out for this stream because StreamYard, for whatever reason, as the moment I started recording, is like, yeah, sorry, dog, that's just not working. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening with that. But soon we'll be streaming there as well. But on a more personal note, before we get into the horror talk, it's been a tough day for old Jake. My girlfriend, unfortunately, got into a car accident this afternoon, which is why I had to delay the stream. She is okay. Everything is good. But unfortunately, I think we've just gone through, we're just about to go through some of our savings for moving out here together, which makes me a little upsetty spaghetti. So it's been a rough day, but if there's anything I can throw at you guys, it's to stay positive and to find the silver linings when things get rough. Because I could just be upset and crawl into bed and cry myself to sleep. I could do that, but instead I'm looking at the positives. My girlfriend's okay. She's completely uninjured. I'm so thankful for that. Someone's watching from up above, I guess, is what I'm thinking about right now. So I'm very thankful for that, and I think that we should all have a little bit of little more positivity in our lives because things get bad, but we have to remember that they could be worse. So that's something I'm thinking about right now, and I just want to spread a little positive message to all of you as well. So anyways, let's get into the horror talk because there is a lot of exciting stuff to get into, ladies and gentlemen. Like, for instance, Scream 7 starts filming tomorrow. Everyone's getting into it, Atlanta, and everyone's going to start talking a little bit. We're going to start talking a little more about, like, production stills, probably some more updates from all that. We're probably going to get some pictures of people on set, which is really exciting. Our beloved characters back fighting another new Ghostface. I can't wait to get into all of that. But again, let's stay positive. Let's talk a little bit about Scream. Let's say hi to everybody. How we doing? So first of all, Jacob Wells is with us. What's up, Jacob? How you doing? Good to hear from you, pal. Hope all is well. Do you think because Scream is my only horror favorite film series that the 7th movie is going to leave on a cliffhanger and be a trilogy? That would be really cool if it was on a cliffhanger. It sounds like it's going to be a new trilogy, though, Jacob. It sounds like we're setting up some like brand new storyline in Scream. We're doing a spin-off now. There's a lot of crazy things going on, which is nuts with Scream. So it's an exciting time to be a Scream fan, even though it was kind of a little dark period late last year. Moving into, or I guess pretty much all of last year, right? All of last year was a tough time to be a Scream fan, but now things are starting to look up here in Duloc, and I think I think we're gonna be just singing the praises of Scream once again here in 2025. At least I hope. It would be cool to do a cliffhanger ending for this one, like they were supposed to do with 4. I'd be very much so into that, a bunch. Gunner is with us too, saying watching Scream 4 more. The more I think of what the fuck Jill had to say to Charlie to convince him to murder all of his friends and even his love interest survived, Jill must have given him very good nights. I mean, that's been my theory. I think Charlie's just an incel and was just really into Jill. Was like, oh, all I gotta do is kill people to sleep with Emma Roberts? And that's a crazy justification. I just want to clarify, but I don't know. Maybe Charlie was just an incel. That's my thinking. Motive? Incel. Write it on the police report. King Matthew III, my liege, how are you? Hey Jake, I have a clue of Stu being in Scream 3. There is a scene before the final act where the killer tricks Dewey into going to the party with Sydney's voice, but Roman met Sydney at the final act. There's a scene, there's like a deleted scene. I don't know. I don't know if it's a deleted scene, what it is. But I got to see like an early version of Scream 3. It was like some sort of production thing, like it was like in black and white. It was like really crappy looking, but it was like some sort of original version of the film. And there was a scene where where Gail and Dewey and I think Parker Posey's character, they're all in the car and they get a call from who they think is Sydney, right? But it's someone using it's Roman using the voice changer, saying, "Hey, come on by the party. We're all gonna have fun. Everything's fine." And it's literally when Sydney's like freaking out trying to get to this party, which I think is interesting. So I love that about Scream, that little Scream 3 deleted scene. It's fun. The assembly cut. Yes, thank you, Villain Killin' Dylan. I appreciate you for that. So I guess that could have been Stu with the voice changer. Maybe he was working with Roman the whole time, and Roman just forgot to mention that he's working with with the character that survived the first film. I don't know. But hey, keep the theories running. They're always fun to talk about. Erica's saying, hey, Erica, what's up? Thanks for being a mod tonight. Appreciate you. Paula Fitzhenry is hanging out with us too. Hi, hello. Superman, who's got a new movie coming out this summer, saying Jennifer told them she wasn't going to come back for Julie James for only a cameo. That's what they consider a bad move. It's a slap to us fans of Julie James. Who could do that? So she demands to change the script. I do believe she's going to be in there in a little more, in a higher capacity than a cameo. But, I'm expecting maybe the same level of like Sidney Prescott's role in Scream 5 would be my guess. If I had to guess. But I still hope she's involved, you know what I mean? I hope she's more involved than just a scene, right? And that's more than a cameo. But I hate when we shoehorn characters into a story and then they just don't do a whole bunch. Like, do they really add a bunch? That's something I'm worried about. So I hope that Julie James and I Know What You Did Last Summer, the new one coming out this summer, I remember what I did this upcoming summer. I hope she's doing a little more than just third act backup like Sydney in Scream 5. Wild Boy Movies is saying, hello, Jake. Friday can't come soon enough for Chicken Man. Definitely going to talk about the short in a video. I appreciate that a bunch, my friend. Thank you. For those who don't know, my short film Chicken Man is dropping this Friday. This week, baby. So look out for it. It's coming out on at some point on Friday. I don't know what time quite yet. Still figuring that out. But if you are a member of this page, a YouTube channel member, you guys will be able to see it early this Wednesday, which I'm really excited about. You won't be able to see the whole short. I'm just going to play like a little bit of it because I kind of want the rest of it to be to premiere on Friday. I want to get everyone's thoughts then. But it would be really cool if you guys were to become members and see that opening scene. It's crazy, I promise. It's not an opening scene where nothing happens like in some horror movies. Oh no, there's in the first minute of this bad boy, someone's dead. I'll tell you that much. So come on by the stream on Wednesday for members only. It'll be a fun time. Really good time. Wild Boy Movie, I really appreciate you talking about it. And again, if you fucking hate it, if you're like, this short is terrible, then rip it to shreds. Go ahead. I just appreciate you talking about it, my friend. I will take any and all criticism. Just hopefully it's constructive. But anyways, I got some super chats coming up here. Hello, everybody. I see Jason Carpenter, a member, hanging out with us. Thank you for your support. What's up? Same to you, Madison. So sorry about everything that was going on today. So much love to you, my sweetie pie. I don't know. Why did I even say that? Madison, I hope you're having a better night. I'm so sorry. We got through it though, and that's what matters. So much love to you. But anyways, Isaac's throwing $20 out there. Isaac, thank you for supporting the page. I really do appreciate you a bunch. And I love your profile picture. Coraline is one of my favorite movies, like, ever. So good. Thanks for the 20. I have a feeling that we will get our first son and mom team up in Scream 7, and the killers will be Logan and Jennifer. I also think that they're... Sorry. I think that there is also a chance that Charlie can return since he never got shot in the head. I like the idea of Logan and Jennifer being our killers. That's really interesting to me. I dig the idea of like a mom and a daughter teaming up together or a son and a mom and a son daughter. I'm still thinking about McKenna Grace from today's video. If you guys missed that, go check it out. I like this idea though of the son and the mom teaming up to be killers in this new entry. I think that works really well as a bit of a dark reflection thing, right? This film is obviously going to center on Sydney and her new daughter, which is like a brand new character to the franchise. This is obviously going to be a big deal with the focal point of the story. So to do something to counter that, right? To have your killers also be like a family that is basically evil fighting a family that's basically good, that works really well. And you can just generate a whole story just based off of that, I think. So I like this idea. This movie can be about family, just like a Fast and Furious film, which I think Scream is basically about at this point. But run it. I like this. I like this team up idea a whole bunch. I like Anna Camp. And I believe it's Sam Reckner who's playing Logan, correct? These two people I could totally see being Ghostface killers as well. I'm not ruling them out at all. I'm pretty sold on McKenna Grace, especially after what I talked about in today's video. But I don't hate this at all. I would love this. Son, mother, I want to say father. I don't know why I want to get that in there so bad. Son, mother duo wearing the Ghostface masks this time around. I think that would be really fun to see, Sydney and her daughter fight off against them at a certain point. That would be cool. Little duality thing going on here, Isaac. I dig it a whole bunch. And you also think there's a chance that Charlie can return since he never got shot in the head. And that is a rule. Those are the rules. Dem's the rules, as they say. To me, I think everything with Charlie is kind of wrapped up personally. Like, especially with Kirby coming back for Scream 6, right? You know, she even shows the stab wound. She's like, psh, lifts it up, bam, stab wound. Wow. That to me is like, that's the end. That's Charlie has left his unfortunate legacy, literally scarring physically and mentally Kirby for the rest of her life, which is why she is where she is now. I don't know if bringing Charlie back would change anything about Kirby's character. You know what I mean? I feel, and that's the other thing too. Kirby's not confirmed to be coming back for Scream 7 yet. Yet. Keyword yet. We might get that update soon here. Who knows? But I don't know if she's coming. Actually, I don't know if Kirby's coming back or not. She could. That would be cool. But I think the only way I would want to see Charlie return and still be alive somehow is if we could incorporate that into like a Kirby story somehow, maybe with this Kirby spinoff thing. So keep the hope alive. I know so many people want to see dead characters return. I get it. There's a lot of great characters who are dead in this franchise. But who knows? Maybe we'll see Charlie in this Kirby spinoff. Keep the hope alive, Isaac. Thank you for the 20. I really do appreciate your support. And Jason, thank you so much, man. Yeah, Madison is okay. Everything's good. Just a rough day. Just a rough day is all. RJ Skarenki is also saying, I'm stuck in my house on a snowy Monday listening to KillJoy Jake. Let's go. What's up, RJ? How's it going, man? Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you. Faith is saying, I'm glad she's okay. Thank you. Thank you. Same to you, Wild Boy Movies. I really do appreciate that. Again, look at the positives. You got to look at the positives when times get tough, because it could be so much worse. Things could be worse. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to even give any energy to an alternate scenario right now, because I don't need that. But as Madison is saying, I'm okay physically, mentally I'm meh. Yeah, she's not doing so well, so please leave some positive wishes out in the chat for Madison tonight. She would greatly appreciate that. Marley Kai 2000 is saying, hey Jake. Hello, Marley Kai. How was your Christmas and New Year's? Did you get coal? Do you think I got coal? What the fuck, Marley Kai? No, I'm just kidding. But no, I got stuff for my apartment, bro. How cool is that? I'm an adult now, and it sucks. But anyways, no, actually, I'm actually an adult now, so I get excited about things like pots and pans for my apartment. I was hyped up. I was like, yes, let's go. So exciting. But no, I had a great Christmas. I hope you did too, Marley Kai. And Happy New Year. It's 2025, baby. We're a quarter through this century, and it scares the hell out of me. I'm getting old. It's not good. Antinous, what's up, fella? Hey, Jake, what's up, my main man? How are you, dog? Welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for talking a little horror with us tonight. KL stands for Colonius Longorius. What a name that is. Wow. Saying Kevin Williamson coming to change lives again. Let's hope, man. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed he gets the franchise on the right track. Shot by Shot is saying it's hard to get excited for a Scream film after how Spyglass did us and the actress dirty. Hey, that's true. I can't argue with that. Some nasty shit. But I am excited. I just love Scream. You know, that's my thing. I do love a lot of Scream, love a lot of ghost faces running around. I'm excited for that. Tyler Ism, what's up, my friend? How are you, Tyler? What's up, friend? Here's to a massive and exciting year. It is a very exciting year for horror, man. You know, of course, Scream 7 is on the horizon. We're getting that at the top of 2026, and I know we're going to be talking about it all this year, but we have a lot of other movies coming out this year. Wolfman, I am so excited for. The fact that we're seeing that in like 2 weeks, I might see it early. Might, keyword might. I can't wait for this one. It is the new film from Leigh Whannell. I'm such a big fanboy of his. If I met him, I think I would give him a kiss on the lips. And I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love his movies. I love his art so much. It makes me so happy. I can't wait to see it. And that's just in a couple of weeks. That's just January. That's just, scratching the surface barely of 2025, cracking open the egg of 2025 horror movies. See what I did there? Egg pun, because Chicken Man comes out on Friday, my short film. I'm part of the conversation for 2025 horror, baby. Oh, it feels good. I haven't put something out since like 2022, pretty much. Oh, love it. Did I see a promo pic for Sydney Nev for Scream 7? I must have missed that if that came out. I actually, genuinely, if that's for real, I missed that. Damn. I see some more super chats. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate y'all. Thank you for the $2 again, Isaac. You're killing it tonight. Killing it. Oh, McKenna Grace and Asa German arrived to set. Little update from beyond. I love it. So everyone's getting there. Everyone's getting down to Atlanta. If you're in the Atlanta area, let me know if you see anything fun. That would be cool. would be cool to talk about. I remember when Scream 6 was filming, all these people were sent, like, out of nowhere, people were just sending me things. They're like, Jake, I don't usually, talk in the chat or whatever, but I had to send you this picture. I live in the Montreal area where they were filming Scream 6. And I got all these cool little updates from people. It was so much fun. So if you're in the Atlanta area, you see anything that might look a little suspicious, a little Ghostfacey, send it my way. Follow me on Instagram. Check out my Kick channel, which I'm not streaming to right now, unfortunately. And we'll have a lot of fun talking, going back and forth about Scream. But I'm excited. I can't wait to see everybody on set in costume. What the hell's going on with all that? It's exciting. It's an exciting time. Isaac, thank you for the 2. Really appreciate your support of the page. Thank you. Ty Lee, thanks for being a member, dude. Saying I watched Strange Darling. I liked it a lot, but think it's a touch overrated. Fair enough. I had a religious experience seeing this movie. Like, the time that everyone had seeing Nosferatu this past December, I had with Strange Darling. I was, like, over the moon about this film. Twist after twist after twist that, for me at least, worked. And that's rare. Rarely do I see films that try, like, a lot of different things and, like, a lot of it works for me. This was a special movie, in my opinion. I was like, damn, okay, Strange Darling, rock on. Keep on rolling, baby, as Fred Durst would say during the hot dog flavored water era. Raptor Crashers Incorporated, I love that name so much, saying I am still working on an act 1 of my screenplay, but editing is hard. Also, I already have an idea of the next movie I will make. It is a horror movie called Hail the Eclipse. I love the title, Hail the Eclipse. It sounds like maybe like a cult that worships the moon or something, just based off of the title alone. I dig that a whole bunch, Raptor Crasher. Digging it. Alexa Sekulik left a comment for me earlier saying they want to talk about Poppy Playtime. Alexa, you're probably a bigger expert on this than I am. Is Poppy Playtime coming out, like, is that out already, the chapter 4? I know it comes out this month. Give me a release date if you got one, Alexa. I know I try to be the guy that has all the horror news updates, but Alexa, hit me with this one real quick because I think I've forgotten. 50 Shades of Mayan, what's up, fella? How's it going? Rock on. Welcome in. Just Jaden is saying, I can't wait to review Chicken Man. It looks interesting. Thank you so much, my friend. So much love. Thank you, Jaden. Rip it to shreds. Call it a piece of shit if you want. I don't care. Jake, can you link your Chicken Man YouTube channel? Yeah, I believe Madison has just done that right here. It's Human Egg Productions. That's going to be my new production studio, I guess. But the big thing with that is we want to have a separate channel for all the shorts to live, because whenever I post them here, they just don't do very well. So I want to go put it over there, and then all the short films we make in the future will all live on this one separate page. So go subscribe if you want. Again, we're not trying to like monetize this page. It's just it's a place for passion projects is what I look at Human Egg Productions as. So if that's your jam, if you're like, I want to see some of the weird things that Jake makes, go check it out. Go subscribe even if you want. Isaac, another super chat. You're just killing it, man. Thank you. Saying, what is the new I Know What You Did Last Summer's name? I Know What You Did Last Summer, apparently. As of right now, they're just calling it that. I think they're doing like a Scream 2022 thing, right? The setup for this movie sounds very similar. Feels very requel-y. So I think they're just going to call it the same thing again. And that's going to be it. I'm not terribly against that for this franchise in particular. With Scream, it's a little weird, right? Because even though Scream 2022 was commentary on requel films, kind of ended up just being a continuation to the series and pushing the story forward over when you really, just looking at 5 and 6 where they were. It was just a continuation. I think the name, just calling it Scream, was a bit of commentary on just other requels, right? And that's cool to me. Like, rock on. Like, okay, I'm into that. But with I Know What You Did Last Summer, I don't hate it because it's like, what the fuck else do you call it? Like, I Know What You Did 30 years ago. What are we going to call this thing? And would that confuse fans of the franchise? Kind of like Spiral from the Book of Saw, right? That I think if they had titled that movie something else, just not that long ass title, more people would have gone to have seen the 9th entry of the Saw franchise, which, regardless of the quality, if you hate that movie, even if you're someone who hates that movie, I still think it would have made way more money had they just called it like Saw Spiral or something like that, right? Like just 2 words. You got Saw right at the beginning. People know this is a Saw film. It's one of the, I think it's the least highest grossing film in that whole franchise, right? A Spiral from the Book of Saw, and it's just because it's got that wonky title. So I say don't fix what ain't broke, right? Keep it I Know What You Did Last Summer. Even though, right, we do kind of want our own title for the new film. This is technically entry number 3 if you just ignore the real third one that has nothing to do with the first two films for some reason. I get it. I get why they're calling it that. Don't call it something too weird, because then you might confuse fans and they might be like, I don't even know what that is. What even is the summer from 30 years ago? I've never heard of I don't care about the summer from 30 years ago. I'm not familiar with that. But if it was I Know What You Did Last Summer, people might check it out. I'm just repeating myself, beating a dead horse at this point. But Isaac, thank you for the $2. Appreciate your support. The Crystal Lake Slasher Edits. I love that name. It's great. Crystal Lake Slasher Edits. I hope you're editing down some Jason Voorhees clips currently, saying, think Heart Eyes will delay. There's no new ads. Oh, have I got an update for you, my friend. We are getting a trailer either tomorrow or Wednesday. I believe it's going to be tomorrow, though. I'm banking on it being tomorrow. We're finally getting a new ad for it, and I believe it's going to be a Red Band trailer, baby. So we're going to see some more kills. That's music to some people's ears, and not so much to other people, right? Because we don't want things to get spoiled. That would be no fun. But at the same time, I am excited to see a Red Band trailer for this one. That first little teaser we got last year, late last year for Heart Eyes, teased a kill that was very reminiscent of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I'm talking about the remake from the early 2000s. And personally, I love that movie. I think it's great. I'm not someone who would go so far as to say that I like it more than the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's just a classic. Come on now. But I do really like the way that kill looks. And what I'm talking about specifically, of course, the only kill we saw in that trailer, girl with a big, just cut out hole through her mouth, basically. Very reminiscent of the opening scene with the hitchhiker, how they do that a little differently in the remake, which there's a certain word that would relate to that I would get in trouble with the YouTube gods if I were to say here, so I'm not going to say it, but you get what I'm talking about if you've seen the film. And if not, go watch it. The 2003 Texas Chainsaw is very good. But I can't wait to see this Red Band trailer. Again, hopefully it doesn't spoil too many of the really good kills in this movie, but I'm excited for this one. I feel like Heart Eyes is going to feel like the Valentine's version of Eli Roth's Thanksgiving from 2023, which is very apropos, right? We're also getting the Thanksgiving sequel later on this year in November, probably. It doesn't have a release date yet, but when are they going to release Thanksgiving too? In fucking July? No. False. They're releasing it around Thanksgiving. Come on now. So I can't wait for Heart Eyes. I don't think it's going to get delayed because I believe they're going to start doing the marketing campaign literally tomorrow, which is crazy. It's nuts. So no worries. You will get some new ads very soon here, probably in the next 24 hours. But thank you for the $2 again, my friend. Do appreciate you a bunch. And Isaac's just killing it tonight. Jennifer can also be Leslie Mocker. We know she exists, right? Stu's sister is out and about somewhere. What is she pissed off at Sydney? Maybe you killed my brother. Now I'm going to take up the mantle of Ghostface and I don't know, stab your daughter or something, right? Now that we know she's out there, maybe she could be a killer in a future movie as well, and maybe it's this one. Rumor has it Scream 8 is also on the horizon, fellas. Which is real exciting. So who knows? Maybe this film sets up some kind of trilogy somehow, which I'm open-minded to, but Seven's got to be doing a lot of legwork for me to really justify a trilogy with a character who I believe their story has already been told. So I set up something for Sydney and her daughter. Give me a reason to follow this character again. And if they can do so, rock on, dude. Hell yeah, I love Sydney Prescott. Would love to follow her through more movies. But I just hope they don't do to Sydney Prescott what they just did to Laurie Strode, because I thought her story was awesome in Halloween 2018. They did nothing with her in Halloween Kills, and then she was completely out of character in Halloween Ends. And I would hate to see that happen to Sydney Prescott just to force more story with this beloved character, because I just feel like they've I don't want to go so far as to say they've tarnished the legacy of Laurie Strode, but they did her dirty in that last entry, especially, man. So really hoping to see a better justification for Sydney Prescott's story continuing to be told throughout these new movies. Let's hope. Let's hope at least. But Isaac, thank you for the 2. Appreciate you. Perry Moberg, what's up, fella? Thanks for the 5. Thanks for supporting the page. I caught up on some 2024 movies that I missed. Sting, Cuckoo, and In a Violent Nature. Sting is fun. Nature had great kills. Cuckoo is cuckoo. Perry, I almost agree entirely with this. Hell yeah, dog. Yeah, Sting was fun. It's fine. It was a fun one-time watch. I got to see it super early too. I never got around to doing a review, unfortunately, but It's fine. It's so good. Honestly, the most fun I had with Sting, unfortunately, was the fact that the audience was kind of making fun of the movie at my early screening a little bit. And this one lady behind us was just she was saying some things that were just so genuinely funny. My buddy Connor and I was able to take to this early screening, we were just in tears. And unfortunately, that's the only thing I remember from the film. But It had some good action, some good practical effects, which was done by the Weta Workshop. I just wasn't crazy about the story, I guess, but it was fun overall. I had a good time with it, good enough to be able to justify the watch, right? Wasn't terrible. In a Violent Nature, great kills, couldn't agree more. And Cuckoo, Cuckoo was like really hard for me to follow. I did not get this movie. I walked out of the theater and I'm like, I can't do a review on that. I don't know what I just watched. And I consider myself like I don't know, a little media literate, like at least enough to be able to review movies on here. But man, I walked out of the theater for Cuckoo and I was like, I don't know what I just watched. Like there was Bird People. Dan Stevens, I think, gave an excellent performance. Hunter Shaver was also awesome. I don't know what I watched. That was a wild movie. I think I enjoyed it, but I also didn't get it at all. Like if there was a point to all that madness, I missed it. So Cuckoo is one I want to rewatch because I want to try to get a better understanding of the film, I guess. But very hard to follow for me personally. So I don't know. I don't even want to say that I disliked the movie because I feel like I didn't get it. You know what I mean, Perry? Pori Moberg. Yes. Perry, thank you for the 5, though. Thanks for supporting the page. I hope you enjoyed some 2024 movies you might have missed out on, because there was a lot of good ones from that last year, let me tell you. Eric is hanging out with us tonight, saying, hello there, Jake. Happy New Year. Cheers from Eric, and you're from Brazil. Look at that. Very awesome, dog. Welcome in, dog. Welcome in, welcome in. We have a lot of people from Brazil just in the last couple of streams. I've had people say, like, hello from Brazil, and I think that's dope. So, Brazil, you are so welcomed here. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you, Eric. I love your profile picture too, dog. Good stuff. Welcome in. Let's talk a little horror. Jake, Chicken movie is coming. The Chicken movie sure is coming, buddy. I really hope you enjoy it too. We put a lot of effort into making this one fun. It's my very own slasher villain. I can call him my own. He's my own original. I love him to death. I think he's a gross little dude. And you guys are going to learn that just from the opening scene, I think. So I can't wait for you guys to see that on Friday over on the Human Eggs production channel. And I'm not going to shut up about it because I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited for you guys to see this one. I've been keeping it a secret for a long time now, and I'm finally ready to release it. The Crystal Lake Slasher Edits, thank you for the support again, dog. Saying, think 28 years later will beat Megan 2.0's box office. Yes, I'm pretty confident on this, which... It may come as a shock to some people because, of course, the first Megan made over $180 million at the box office in January. If you guys don't know, January is a bad month for movies. Hollywood does not like to release movies in January because there's just not a ton of people going to the theater. You know, bad weather, people still trying to care about their New Year's resolutions, right? But in like a week, no one's going to give a shit about those anymore. Some of you are, and kudos to you, but most people are probably going to give up on that. Probably already, right? What is it, the 6th? Yeah, some people are already done with that. New Year's, that was like last year, dog. What are you talking about? But the fact that first Megan made a ton of money shows that it was a very strong film, and a lot of people came out to see it, not just because she can do a silly little TikTok dance, right? There was actually a lot of substance to that movie that worked, unlike a lot of Blumhouse movies recently. Did I say that out loud? Wow. But Megan 2.0, I can imagine also having a strong box office pull. Even if it's half the film of the first film, the first one from 2023, I still see it pulling in well over 100 million, right? 28 years later, though, there is a crazy amount of hype, like out of nowhere for this one. Not only are those first two, like, kind of zombie films beloved, but that trailer is the second most watched horror trailer of all time. How crazy is that? That's so exciting to me, though, but there is a lot of hype for this movie. So much so that it's probably one of the biggest releases in terms of horror in 2025. Pretty nuts to say, man. That, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 are probably the two big things. And I'm kind of shocked, man. So I'm really excited to see 28 years later, man. I'm fucking hyped. It's the start of a trilogy, and I have a lot of faith in this one because that trailer was really strong. But I will say one thing. I have a lot of faith in this movie. But if I've learned anything from 2024, it's that even if a film has a strong trailer, it can still end up being shite. So let's hope it's good. I think it's going to be good. It's coming from Alex Garland, and he rarely does me dirty. So Danny Boyle too. Love him as well. So I think this one's going to be good. I can't wait to see both of these. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun in the theaters this summer, man. It's going to be a fun summer for horror, man. Thanks for the 2. Thoughts on a Bendy movie coming? I got to be honest, I'm probably more excited about the Poppy Playtime movie just because I've played through that one so far. You know, I'm pretty familiar with the lore of Poppy Playtime, and I feel like it could lend itself to a really good movie. Bendy, I guess I'm just not as familiar with, right? It's kind of in that same vein of children's horror is the wrong way to describe it, right? It's like just I don't even know how to explain it. Like kids' toys or kids' themed things that are just horror, applying horror to these things because they are inherently a little creepy. So I guess Poppy Playtime is the one, I believe it's coming from Lionsgate, that I'm probably the most excited for in those regards. Five Nights at Freddy's it's a $20 million MatPat video. That's basically what that movie was. And if that's all you're looking for, if you're looking for an Easter egg hunt of a movie, Five Nights at Freddy's delivers. But me personally, I was just really hoping we would get something a little scarier, something that could be more justified as gateway horror. I don't know. I just wasn't crazy about that first Five Nights at Freddy's. I did love seeing Stu basically coming back. Matthew Lillard. It was cool to see him in horror, and I'm so happy that he's had a comeback. Same with Josh Hutcherson, man. I feel like I haven't seen him in anything. Like, I feel like the last time I saw him in like a big movie was like The Hunger Games, and like seeing him lead that movie, I was like, rock on. Loved the cast of Five Nights at Freddy's. That made me really happy. And I'm happy they're coming back for the sequel as well. But I guess I just wasn't crazy about that first movie. I think I'm going to like the sequel more, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But we'll see in December, I believe, is when that one's coming out. But we'll see. We'll see about this Bendy movie as well. Thank you for the 2. Appreciate that, my dude. I want to like Five Nights at Freddy's. I really do, because I think the games are so much fun. Can I do some Chicken Man fan art for you? Absolutely. Run it. Do whatever you want with that property. Rumors that Megan 2.0 trailer will be coming Friday. Wow, we have a busy week. I thought this week wasn't going to be too busy, and damn, now look at this. We're getting trailers at the wazoo. There's something else there's something coming Wednesday. The Monkey trailer, that's what it was. There's a new The Monkey trailer coming out this week as well, on top of a Heart Eyes trailer and apparently a Megan 2.0 trailer on Friday. So it's going to be a crazy week of videos. Holy shit, that's awesome. A lot of fun stuff to look out for this week, though, ladies and gentlemen. Don't miss any of it. Isaac, thank you for the 5. I can't wait for Megan 2.0. This is going to be a fun one. Definitely going to be a fun one for sure. Antinous is saying, when do you think the rest of the 2025 horror movie trailers will release? Apparently this week. Shit. Apparently this week we're getting like most of them, which is nuts. That's really exciting, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. That's a trend I don't like. The requel with the same name. Kind of lazy, at least have a subtitle. I don't hate the subtitle idea, but with I Know What You Did Last Summer, that title's already just so long, right? I wouldn't mind if Scream 5 or something was like Scream requel or something, right? Whatever. The only times I really hate it is with like Halloween 2018. It's like, we have to call that movie Halloween 2018 to differentiate it, right? And that movie is just a requel with no commentary. At least with Scream, part of the point of it is that it's a requel. So we're making fun of things like Halloween 2018 that just kind of used the same idea of let's just use the title of the original movie and just plant it here. So to me, I get it. I get why that was the case with that one. But some of them, I hear ya. Like Candyman, that's another one where I'm like, okay, you could have subtitled that something, right? There was no point to just calling it what it was. Chris Brown is saying, call it I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. That is already a film. Not a very good one at that. Ian Stratton? I've never seen the name Ian spelled like that before. I like it. I'm shocked they are having Sydney's daughter be the new target. If these directors and writers are dumb enough to kill Sydney because her daughter is the new character, then they've ruined everything. I don't think they're going to kill... They won't kill Sydney. I promise you that. Big reason why I'm saying that is because we've even heard Neve Campbell say on multiple occasions she would not come back for a Scream film if Sydney were to die. It's a very controversial thing to talk about in Scream, right? Because people don't want to know that. People don't want to know if Sydney could die or could not, because it sucks all the tension out of sequences with Sydney. And I trust me, I hear you on that. I agree, but I think with Sydney now, the tension could come from the daughter character, right? If she dies or not. And that would make people feel bad because so many people, Sydney is so near and dear to their heart. To see someone so close to her, like her own child, die, that'd be upsetting. Be really upsetting. That would ruin her happy ending. People don't want that. So that's where I think the tension from the character can come from in 7. They just got to play it the right way. It's all going to come down to execution, I think, with Scream 7. We can pick and prod at it all you want, like how I've been in a lot of videos. But realistically, if they execute things well and it rocks, that's a possibility, man. We can't rule that out. Again, we have to look at the positives, guys. If there's any theme for this stream, it is to look at the bright side. There's always a silver lining. Jason Carpenter thanks. Thank you again for being a member. I already thanked you, but thank you again, man. Appreciate you. Jake, did you see the promo pic? We talked about this earlier, and I must have missed it. Again, girlfriend got into a car accident. I've been very busy last couple hours. I barely got that video done in time, which was nuts. Let me see if like a news story or something. I want to see if I can find this picture because I must be missing it or something. Scream 7. See what's up. Maybe it's on Twitter. I'm just not seeing it. I'm gonna check like for 2 more seconds, but I don't know. I feel like I'm not seeing anything about this. Scream 7. Where's it at? Huh. Okay, yeah, I checked. I don't know. I can't find anything. I don't know. I guess someone send me a link or something if you got something. I got nothing. I can't find any promo pic here with Sydney or Nev for Scream 7. Looks like Ghostface clearly is targeting her kids. Check it out, man. I guess I'll do a little research after this, but I don't know. Jason, you got me on Instagram, dog. Send it my way if you can. Oh, there you go. You already did. Look at that. Oh, that may or may not be real. I'm going to be honest. If that's real, that would be awesome, but that looks like an edited picture of how she looks in Scream 5. I think that's the same jacket. I don't know. I can't say one way or another. I just feel like if we got our first image from Scream 7, there'd be like 1,000 news articles on it. And I'm seeing nothing. But maybe. You never know. Eric, or ERIC, is saying we need a Hills Have Eyes reboot movie for 2025. I really enjoy. I didn't love this movie the first time I watched it, but now it's kind of growing on me. The remake from Alexander Aja is pretty brutal, man. That's pretty insane. So I do like that one. I would not be against a modern rendition though. I really like that we're getting a lot of these older properties, like movies that haven't gotten remakes in a long time, that are coming back here in the 2020s. The Mummy, for instance, from Lee Cronin. That's going to be awesome. Like a genuinely more terrifying and horror-centric version of that story, which I think the original The Mummy is a little scary, like, for being an older film. But I really like the Brendan Fraser ones the most. But those are more like action movies with like a very little horror adjacent element to them, right? So I'm excited to see like Lee Cronin's version, who the guy has done 2 very terrifying horror films in my opinion, Evil Dead Rise and The Hole in the Ground. I'm excited to see what he ends up bringing to the Mummy franchise. I think it's going to be weird and I'm here for it. Have you seen Mr. Crockett? It's a horror movie that's pretty much Nightmare on Elm Street, but with Mr. Rogers as the killer. It's really good. It is on my top 10 list for 2024 horror movies. I loved it. I think it's truly one of the most underrated horror films from 2024. I did not hear a ton of people talking about it, and that's a shame because it's very high up on my list too, which will shock and surprise some people. But I loved that movie. It rocks. Very good stuff. Madison has also thrown out the link to Human Egg Productions. Go subscribe if you want to check it out. Where Chicken Man is going this Friday and any other future short films, which we might have another one. Who knows? Will Chicken Man make me shit chicken eggs? It will. It absolutely will. When you're done watching it, they're just going to start flying out, dude. So make sure you're ready for that. Flesh Suit Man, I have not said hello to you, my friend. I love that name. Sydney dying and Stu pulling off the mask and just walking away would make me so happy, but I would be so sad. I would cry. I'd be crying in the theater. And no one likes it when I cry in the theater. I'm really loud when I cry. Apparently there's a horror movie called Vampire Lesbian Carrots from Mars, but it's hard to find. I wonder why. Cheese Tuts. That upsets that name just upsets me a little bit. It's a little too close to something else. I'm scared. Josh Hutcherson was in Tragedy Girls after Hunger Games. Is he in Tragedy Girls? I know Jack Quaid is in that movie. Is Josh Hutcherson also in that one? Did I just forget about this? Love Tragedy Girls though. If you're like, Jake, what is that movie? Watch it. It's so good. Josh Hutcherson is in that movie. Wow, I completely forgot how good the cast is of this. Damn, you have Kevin Durant, Craig Robinson, Jack Quaid, Brianna Hildebrand, who's one of the leads. And I don't know Alexandra Shipp from anything else except for this. Maybe she is in something else and I'm just like, oh, anyone but you. Okay. Oh, and she's in the Barbie movie. Rock on. Okay, she's in a bunch of stuff. The cast for that movie rocks if you need a reason to watch it. Tragedy Girls rocks. It's from, who is it? Tyler McIntyre, right? Yeah. Tyler McIntyre, very underrated modern director. I really like a lot of his movies. He also did It's a Wonderful Knife, which isn't perfect by any means, but it is a lot of fun. I'm a 2-hour drive from Atlanta. Villain killing Dylan. Snap some pics of Ghostface, dog. Slasher Studios, I do like this. I'll never forget what you did last summer. That's pretty good. You know, that implies the long time gap, right, between the multiple movies. I don't mind that, Slasher Studios. I don't mind that at all. I am waiting for the Final Destination Bloodlines trailer. I wonder when we'll get that, because that's a spring release, right? That's a late spring, sometime in May, if I'm remembering correctly. That would probably come out sometime soon, I'd imagine, depending on how much they want to market this one. I'm excited for that, though. Thoughts on Demi Moore winning a Golden Globe? Hell yeah! That's awesome. Mikey Madison should have won for a Nora performance, but it is still good for horror. It's very good for horror. And I'm sure Mikey Madison is amazing in that movie. I still haven't seen it, which is crazy. I hear Nora is fantastic, and I love Mikey Madison. I think she's a fantastic actress. But man, Demi Moore's performance in The Substance, it's something else, man. I mean, that is genuinely one of those horror classics we're going to be talking about 30 years from now. Wow, that's another one. Watching that film for the first time, I'm like, I'm witnessing history right now. Like that's crazy, and a lot of it is because of Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley's performances, man. Wow. Like, pretty blown away there. And I'm sure Mikey Madison is amazing in Nora. I've heard so much people just going on and on raving about her in this movie, and I'm glad people are finally starting to recognize her a little more, because I thought she was great in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I thought she was great in Scream, and I think she's probably even better in Nora, but I gotta see it. Orion is saying, hey Jake, I'm really excited about the horror news this week. I just broke my leg on Saturday, so this is really cheering me up. Orion, I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better, my friend. It's been a tough week for a lot of us. Damn, brutal out here. Brutal. Well, I hope you healed that up real fast. But we have a lot of horror news. We have a lot of horror trailers coming this week. And by Friday, we're going to have a lot to talk about, like genuinely a ton. Have you decided this week's watch party movie? I promise you I will have it by tomorrow. I will 100% have it, and I will keep you guys updated on all that. In fact, I'm going to have a Hard Eyes video tomorrow. Something is going to be uploaded to this page tomorrow at some point, and I will put it in that video. I'm gonna remember, Ty, because I keep forgetting to do that. I had a really good suggestion from Davey Deathray, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that movie just because I don't have a Peacock subscription. That's the only place you can watch this movie that he's talking about. Shout out to Davey. He's awesome. Had a really good suggestion for a movie. But I gotta figure something out for sure. We got to get some kind of movie going for Watch Party Wednesday on top of the Chicken Man preview stream. Jake, did you see Cody Leach's video on ranking all 61 horror movies he saw in 2024? Heretic at number 2, Abigail at number 1. I mostly agree with that. That's Abigail at number 1. That's why I love Abigail. So much fun. But number 1, that's why there's so many good movies this year. That's wild. I love Abigail. I love Heretic. Both of those were in my top 20 for sure. But man, number 1 and number 2, that's nuts. Way to spoil it, Jason. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. I gotta watch that video. 61 movies. That's crazy. I only got through 50. I got through 50 in 2024. So my goal is to beat that here in 2025. And I'm off to the races here already, man. I've already seen 2. So we're killing it. We're only 5 days in. Have I seen The Substance yet? I've seen The Substance twice and I love it. One of my favorite movies. My absolute favorite movie from last year. Game Breakers is saying, hey Jake, do you think that Gale is surviving Scream 7? How much do you think Gale is being included and in what way? So, Game Breakers, it's My theory on Scream 6 is that they wanted to kill Gale in that film, but they couldn't. And the reason why is because they couldn't get Sidney Prescott to show up for Scream 6, so it wouldn't really make a ton of sense, right? Because if Gale dies, then you're asking the question, then there's a big plot hole. Then there's the plot hole of, well, you know, what the fuck? where is Sidney in all of this? You know, why is she not showing up? She showed up for Dewey in Scream 5, but she didn't show up for Gale? What's up with that? So to me, I think that's why she didn't die in 6, genuinely. So to me, I could totally see her going out in 7. For that reason, like you want to have that emotional death, you know, you got to give the movie stakes. Amber even says it in Scream 5. I hope that Scream 7 doesn't play it too safe. You know, I do want to see an emotional death in this film. And you got to think too, Scream 6 still had an emotional death with a new character, right? I think the fucking, the Annika death was genuinely upsetting in Scream 6. It is so brutal and so a little emotional too, which I liked. So if Scream 7 can find that with a new character, rock on. But if they can, I think it's a little easier to do with a legacy character, right? For me personally, I think killing a character comes down to, is there more story to tell with them or not? And the only character, obviously, that doesn't apply to is Sidney. But with Gale, I wouldn't be terribly upset if Gale died. Especially in a moment of self-sacrifice for the rest of the group. That would be such a full circle way to tell her arc. Because she started being so selfish, you know, trying to get the big story, trying to, just become this big star in the news world and have this journalist career or whatever. And then to see her, you know, then in the end, ultimately sacrifice herself for the good of the group, for the protagonists. That's just very fitting, in my opinion. I would not be against something along those lines if it meant we got like an open shut case to Gale's arc. So I don't know. We'll see. It's very situational, but I wouldn't be against it either way. She survives or she sacrifices herself, whatever. Something thematic would be nice though. Just like Dewey. Same situation there. Love it or hate it, it works really well with this character. Demon King is saying, "Hey man, Scream 7 is getting filmed tomorrow. I'm so pumped, except something is wrong." You left me on a cliffhanger there, Demon King. What's wrong? Dear God. I'm excited for Scream 7 too, but if something's wrong, I'm terrified now. Dear Lord. Is Tara coming back? I wish Melissa Barrera did not. Okay, I'm not getting into that. Gaz is saying, "Jake, I'm more in my thriller bag these days. S. Craig Zoller's Dragged Across Concrete and Brawl in Cell Block 99. Looking forward to his next, The Bookie and the Bruiser." Wow, that's so funny. I watched Brawl in Cell Block 99 very recently. Not super recently, like a year ago. Well, actually, wait, was that 2 years? Fuck, that was a long time ago. That was 2 years ago now. But Brawl in Cell Block 99, I don't think I've ever been more upset after watching a movie before. But yeah, that guy's movies. He also does Bone Tomahawk, if you guys are unfamiliar with this one. That's probably his most known film, right? I have not seen Dragged Across Concrete because I can only do so many of this guy's movies every now and then because they're brutal. But I would love to watch that one eventually. The Bookie and the Bruiser, I'll have to see this one as well. He's a really interesting filmmaker. I have mixed feelings about the guy overall, but I do really like a lot of his movies. So I'm excited to see whatever he does next. Some interesting stuff there. Oh, Master Chaos, what's up, Jose? How's it going, man? Glad you're doing better. Thank you. My whole family has COVID, but you know, I'm okay through all of this. I was sick a couple weeks ago, as you know, as we've been going back and forth about. Now I think I got my whole family sick, and I'm just totally fine. I don't know. Crazy. I did not have COVID through that whole time, though. I just had a regular flu. I took the tests and everything. I took a test yesterday as well. No COVID. Still haven't gotten it, even though I've been in proximity of a lot of people. I don't know. I've never gotten it. Never one time have had a positive COVID test, which is nuts to me. But you're also saying you'll be emailing you about our interview today. Rock on, dog. I will be checking that out ASAP, as soon as humanly possible. Appreciate you a bunch, Jose. Sorry about the delays. It's been crazy. The holidays and the sicknesses. It's rough out here. Goran and his big blue truck are hanging out with us saying, "Hi, Jake, I'm back. I wish everyone a happy, healthy, and fun new year. I can't believe it's already 2025. There are a lot of good movies coming to theaters this year." There sure are, dog. I am hyped. This summer especially, I think, is going to be great. But we're starting off the year with some bangers too. These first 2 months are nuts. We got Companion with Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher. That looks weird as fuck. Super hyped for that. That's at the end of this month. And before that, we got Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare on the 13th. And then we got the same week, Wolfman, baby. It's gonna be nuts. Got 3 movies, like just all this month. It's nuts. Crazy. We also have Presence, too, from Steven Soderbergh, right? I'm really excited for that movie. It's a ghost movie from the perspective of the ghost. It's like The Conjuring if we were seeing things from the demon's perspective. That's hype. It's awesome. So I can't wait for that one, too, Goran. It's going to be fun. And that's just this month, you know? I mean, February, we also got Hard Eyes and The Monkey, which both look really good. I'm excited, man. It's going to be a crazy start to the year. What else is going on here? Ryan is saying Heretic was awesome. It was awesome. Really, really made me think. You know, I liked it for that reason. I thought it was a very well-crafted thriller. I don't know if I would watch it. You know, it's one of those movies where I'm like, it kind of just felt like a one and done to me. I'm like, I think I got everything I needed from that movie. I think I can move on. Yeah, I walked out of the theater being like, okay, I'm glad I had that experience, but I don't know if I need to go through that one again. Even though I did really like it. You know, that's not even supposed to be a negative thing. Some movies just aren't rewatchable. That's just how it is. Do you think any 2025 horror movies will get delayed to 2026? Saw 11 is one that is supposed to release sometime this year, but we have had like no updates on it at all, dude. So that one we might not see this year, which is really unfortunate because I think Saw X is one of the best movies from that franchise in literal decades. So I would be really upset to see Saw 11 get delayed again from its 2024 release date now to, you know, being pushed past its 2025 release date. But we'll see. You know, I'm sure we'll get an update on it soon. Hopefully something, right? We got a little tiny update recently, but that wasn't even really an update. I don't know. I want to get something on Saw 11 soon. I'm hyped for a lot of movies, but that's like the biggest one I want some kind of update on. Do you think 28 Years Later can open number one even with how To Train Your Dragon remake and a Pixar movie coming out the weekend before? Yikes. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I mean, that's the weekend before, right? So if it was the same week, I'd be like, ugh, yikes. But maybe. I think with that being like in its own little weekend, I got to look up what else it's up against. I actually don't know off the top of my head. Probably not another horror movie, right? They wouldn't do that. Sometimes they do though, so I don't know. Master Chaos has major faith in Kevin and Nev with Scream 7. I gotta have you on the page sometime, Jose. Not just to talk about your new movie, but also to talk a little Scream, man. I know we did that with Screams 5 and 6. We're gonna have to talk a little bit about 7 too at some point. Crystal Lake Slasher Edits, thank you for the $2. Really do appreciate you. Saying 28 Years Later versus Disney Pixar's Elio box office. Dude, a Pixar movie is going to beat a horror movie any day of the week. Even The Good Dinosaur is going to beat out most things, right? Actually, I don't even know how much that movie made. I shouldn't even be saying that, but I just feel like Pixar movies, like, yeah, the more people are going to go check that one out, right? The Good Dinosaur, which is vastly considered to be the worst in the entire bunch of Pixar films, still pulled in $332 million, which beats out the highest grossing slasher film of all time, my friends. So I love it. I love the love here. I love horror too, man. But you know, if you can take a kid to a movie, it's probably going to make more money. Just rule of thumb. But 28 Years Later, I could still see it making a bunch of money, which would be cool. It is R-rated to my knowledge, or at least it's probably going to be R-rated, right? Why would they make a PG-13 years later or whatever later movie? So I don't see that one making too crazy, you know, too much crazy money, but maybe a little bit of money, you know, maybe like I could see it making like 160 million or something like that. That'd be dope. Be really cool to see. It's a very popular franchise. Thoughts on Lake Mungo? I want to like this movie so bad, and I just don't. I know my buddy Evan from Rockland Graves thinks it's the scariest movie ever made. I don't know. That whole movie is like, hey, look at this really scary thing in this photo, and actually it's not real. And then at the end there is like a little something, which is cool, but it just didn't do it for me. I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch it. That one just didn't really scare me much. There's something about documentary style horror that just does not do it for me for whatever reason. It just does not scare me. It feels like I'm watching true crime about something that didn't actually happen. And I don't know, found footage movies that are like that, not my jam. I love found footage horror, but like that, it doesn't work for me. I like true crime documentaries. Okay, I'll watch those and get freaked the fuck out because it actually happened. But watching one about something that didn't happen, I don't know. It just, for whatever reason, it completely takes me out of it. It does not work for me. For whatever, I don't know. It like you're telling me this isn't real, and then presenting it like, I don't know. It's just weird. I could go on and on, but I won't. I will spare you all I will spare you that. I promise. Ty Lee is saying, I do wish I saw Strange Darling in theaters. It's hard to go in completely blind these days if you watch review channels. Ty, I'm curious, did you watch my top 10 video talking about this one? Because I did say a lot about... I don't know if I spoiled too much about it, but I do remember saying that there's a lot of twists and turns that I was not expecting. Which maybe if you hadn't seen that before, I guess I'm trying to get a little constructive criticism on that video or not. I did have a spoiler warning beforehand, but there were some movies where I'm like, I shouldn't talk too much about these because they haven't been, I haven't talked, well, they're just not as popular, right? Strange Darling and Mr. Crockett, for example. I really did not get into spoilers on either of those, at least I don't think. Because I really didn't want to, I feel like these, if you're watching this top 10, you come across me talking about those two movies, you might be like, oh shit, I got to watch those. Never heard of those ones before. So I tried to be a little less spoilery with those. I got into spoilers with some of the more popular ones, but again, there was a warning at the front of that video, so I thought it was cool. I love this. Casper's Eye Socket is saying, you look like you had the biggest blunt ever, homie. You kick it strawberry style. That is so funny. I need the biggest blunt ever after the day I've had, but no, unfortunately I am completely sober. Big sad Casper's Eye Socket. And the way that you can tell too is I am completely sober right now because I'm still high energy and crazy. If I smoke a blunt, I'm just going to be sitting here like this being like, dude, you guys see that Scream 7 update? If I'm doing this shit on stream, this is how you guys know I'm fucking baked. But anyways, that was comfy. I should get baked on stream more. Holy crap. Anyways, Isaac throwing $5 out there. Thank you, man. Thanks for the support. The Strangers Chapter 2 is coming April 11th. Rumor, I've heard that as well. Runtime is 2 hours and 29 minutes. Dear God. I don't think I can sit through 2.5 hours of The Strangers Chapter 1 again. I'm going to be honest. Lord Almighty. That's a franchise I've lost hope in at this point, which is such a shame. I think the first Strangers is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. Like top 10 scary horror movies. I think The Strangers is on there. I love it so much. It's one of my favorites. But man, these new movies have just completely missed the mark for old Jake. I have pretty little faith in this one, especially based off of that first little preview we saw of it. Like what an awful trailer. I'm sorry, but 0 out of 10 from me so far. I have not had a whole lot of positive things to say about this new trilogy because I don't think the whole goal of it is to explain something that we don't need explained. I don't get it. I really don't get the Strangers. I don't get the point of doing this trilogy in the first place, and doing a 2.5 hour version of that sounds genuinely miserable, but we'll see, we'll see what's up with it. Hopefully it's 90 minutes or less because I think that's all I can take of that, Isaac, to review it, but we'll see. We will see. Isaac, thank you for the 5 though. Do appreciate you a bunch. April's going to be a tough month, I guess. It's going to be a tough one. It better be worlds better than Chapter 1, says Dean Redder. I agree. Dean, thank you for being a member too, my friend. I'm with you. I'm gonna, Casper, you're gonna need a cigarette. I'm gonna need a cigarette after 2.5 hours of of that. Dear Lord, yikes. Demon King maybe giving us a little update after that cliffhanger he left us a little while back. But the good thing of Scream 7 is Stu Macher will live and Sidney Prescott might live to see Scream 8. But I said Kirby Reed is not in it. Maybe Mark Kincaid ain't in the new Core 4 is bad. So from what I'm getting from this, you are a Stu Truther, as they're called. I saw that in a tweet once, and I have never forgotten it in my life. I'm like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Stu Truther. Stuthers. And I think you wanted to see Kirby come back. I'm not 100% there, but Stu for the win, baby. Ryan, I gave Strangers Chapter 1 a 5 out of 10, but I will still see Chapter 2. I'm still gonna see Chapter 2 because I got to review it. That's that's where I'm at with the new Strangers trilogy, man. Whew. You know what would be hilarious if like Chapter 2 also sucked, like worse than 1, and then Chapter 3 is like the best one out of the 5. How fucking funny would that be? I'd be like, okay, you know what? I don't know what was going on in the first half there, man, but that you struck gold, you hit a home run, grand slam all the way for for the ending. That would be genuinely hilarious. I would be so happy. So happy. If The Crazies 2010 got a sequel from Screen Gems, ? You know what's interesting about The Crazies? I don't think a lot of people know that it's a remake of a George Romero film from, I believe that's, is it late 70s, mid 70s? I can't remember, but it is a Romero, kind of a different take on the toxic zombies yet again. That dude was just doing zombies left and right, man. You could not stop that guy from making a zombie movie, which is awesome. Rest in peace. Romero is one of the greats, man. But the original is great too. I think the 2010 movie is, maybe this is sacrilege to say, but the 2010 movie I think tops it. It is fucking scary, dude. That 2010 movie is brutal. I really like that one. That was a movie I saw at a very young age too, and genuinely scared me. Really like that. Really like that movie a lot. It's got a very doom and gloom vibe to it, especially with the ending. Am I spoiling this? I don't know, but I really like that movie a bunch. But I wouldn't mind a new remake or like a new take on that franchise without a doubt. That would be a lot of fun. Actually, dude, this is actually Crystal Lake Slasher Edits. Just thought about this with 28 years later coming out. Might be a good time to start revisiting, zombie-esque movies from that time period. I could see that one getting a new remake. Plenty of directors to do this one too. Wow, I could do a whole video on this. The crazy man, yeah. If 28 years later is successful, maybe look out for a news update on that. I wouldn't be shocked. I wonder who Screen Gems owns the rights to that, huh? I would not be shocked to see another remake coming from them or some kind of continuation, whatever. Because, you got to think, right, that the 2010 movie is 15 years old now. It would probably be a perfect time for a reboot or a remake for that one. Who would do it? Who would be a good director to do The Crazies? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Who's a good director for, like, kind of a weird take on... This is another one like 28 Days Later where it's not necessarily zombies, right? But it's basically zombies. It's people getting a virus and killing each other. But this is actually kind of exactly like 28 Days Later, which is funny. They're all just kind of pissed off. The virus just makes everybody really mad. So yeah, I wonder what who would do that really well. I mean, there's a lot of great directors. I mean, like just off the top of my head, like Fede Alvarez makes a brutal horror movie. Lee Cronin, any of the Evil Dead directors would do a good job with this, but because that's a very similar franchise, right? But I wouldn't be against that. That would be cool. Thank you for the $2 Crystal Lake Slasher Edits. Let's hope we get another one of those. That would be fun. Be a ton of fun. I watch spoiler-free reviews, but I understand it's my fault, and it's hard to talk about that movie without at least a little spoilers. Yeah, I mean, I got a comment once from someone saying, Jake, I know this is a spoiler-free review, but you can still like put some details in there, dog. You can put a little something in there. And I took that criticism to heart. I was like, okay, put some things in my spoiler-free reviews, not everything. But even my Peter Pan review that I posted this week, like I threw nods in there. I threw like things to look out for, but like I didn't actually say what those things were because obviously the film, most people won't see it for another week here. Check that out if you haven't seen my Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare early review. But you got to talk a little bit about it, right? That's part of the job is trying to find out what about a film that you can talk about, what you can not spoil, but like get into a little bit without giving away what happens in the film. So it's tough. It is definitely a tough thing to tiptoe around. What are your thoughts on The Institute by Stephen King having a show released this year? Awesome Destroyer, this is one I've been meaning to read for a long time. I'm currently reading Skeleton Crew, which is so good. I have not read this. I haven't read a book in a long time. Like it's been like basically since my junior year of high school that I kind of like, I don't want to say I gave up reading. I just got really busy. When I got out of high school, I was really just trying to make the YouTube thing happen, basically. And here we are. So I started reading again, whenever I'm driving. Like I just play audiobooks, and dude, Skeleton Crew is so good, man. Like I'm reading it's basically The Mist, that's how it starts. And God, I mean, what a story. God, the story is so excellent. But this is one that's been on my like must read list for a long time. I hear The Institute is a very good late King novel that I never got into. Love the idea though. It's very similar to like a Stranger Things or I can't remember what that thing was, where they gave like LSD to kids. It was like an experiment. There's a word for that, and I just can't remember. But that's a real thing. Like I'm not making some crazy thing up off the top of my head. That was like a real government experiment or whatever. Can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but I hear that's what it's based off of. Maybe I'm wrong in saying that. That's just off the top of my head. So, but really cool stuff. Really cool stuff there. I can't be the whole 28 years was shot on an iPhone. Okay, but have you seen the picture of it, dog? It's so funny. Oh, do I have this? Hang on. Wait, if I have this, this is really funny. You kind of got to see it. 28 years. I have a whole folder with 28 years later pictures. I think yeah, 28 years iPhone. Yeah. Hang on. Wait, I got to show you guys this real quick. I know some people like go in and out of the stream, but y'all got to see this if you're excited for 28 years later. So they shot 28 years later on an iPhone. Like they've been promoting the movie by saying that, like it's kind of like this big deal thing. But here it is. Look at that fucking camera, dude. There might as well just be a camera in there. I think there's an iPhone like right where that screen is, pretty much. I'm pretty sure, or no, not where the screen is. Below that, I believe is where the iPhone is. But dog, they did a little more than shoot on an iPhone, right? Like that's so funny to me. That picture cracks me up every time I see it. But sure, I guess they shot it on an iPhone, right? Funny stuff. That crazy ass camera rig there, man. It's nuts. Crystal Lake Slasher Edits throwing $2 out there again. Thank you again for your support, my friend. Overture Films Stars label did the Crazies 2010. Oh, I think I remember the logo before the film. I remember being like, oh, Stars. That's the same people that did Ash versus the Evil Dead. I actually remember thinking that to myself last time I watched it. Funny enough, last time I watched this one was the Halloween that I asked Madison to be my girlfriend. So crazy shit. Crazy how that happens. So that movie holds a special place in my heart, I guess. Love that one. Crystal Lake, you're just throwing super chats out the wazoo. I appreciate it, man. But Sony could take the rights if 28 years succeeds. Well, I guess Overture Films could, have it as like a competitor piece, right? If like 28 years is super successful, makes a bunch of money. Oh, maybe zombies are in now. And then, Overture is just like, bam, new The Crazies. Or whoever owns the rights now, because I don't know. I'm not sure. But 28 years, man, that would be dope. Would be cool. Sony owns Screen Gems, right? That's Sony's movie production company. So yeah. I actually went to Screen Gems down in they have a Screen Gems like studio office or something down in Wilmington, North Carolina, which I believe they use some of those sets, like some of those studios for filming for Scream 5 is what it was. And that's why we ended up going there. I know that's not, I don't think Sony had any involvement with that one, but for whatever reason, they were able to use those studios out there. They got their own mini little Hollywood down in Wilmington, North Carolina. Not only is it a gorgeous city, but yeah, they just got a lot of movies that get shot there all the time. So it was really cool going there to do a bunch of filming location videos. I ought to do another one of those at some point. Would be fun. Albany Saratoga Media Collector. What's up, fella? Miss you guys. Had a daughter be busy. That's all good, dog. Don't worry about it. Thanks for being here now. I appreciate you a bunch. We missed you a bunch. I hope you had a good Christmas, a good New Year, good holiday season, Hope you had fun doing all that with the fam. Thanks for being here now, man, and thanks for supporting the channel. I really appreciate you. And thanks for modding, too. Thanks for the 10, man. Appreciate you a bunch. What else is going on here? I don't think Chad Meeks is going to live, and as for Sydney and Gale, I don't know, but I know for sure Kirby Reed is not in it. Yeah, that is an interesting thing. We know that Chad is coming back for Scream 7, which I was pretty sold on none of the core 4 being in this movie. I don't think it's necessary to do, kind of like another reboot, essentially, but I'm excited to see how they do it. Chad Meeks Martin, Mason Gooding is back for Scream 7. That is 100% confirmed. And yeah, I mean, the running theory is that he's an opening kill, and I'm kind of not necessarily, I'm not against it, I think, Scream fan, there's a lot of Scream fans out there who don't want to see beloved characters die. And I get it. Trust me. I completely understand. For me, though, with slasher films, I just don't think anyone should be safe. And we already have one character who they're just not going to kill. And we know this based on previous interviews. So to me, to keep the tension high and to have a lot of characters and, to still have a lot of survivors and to still make a scary movie, I think you got to kill some characters that are coming back from other sequels, you know? You just can't make other people, you can't have a bunch of people be safe. I also think we got to establish that Scream 7 is not going to be a safe movie. I know some people are really excited for this one, but let's be real, a lot of people, probably the majority of people, don't have very high hopes on this movie after everything that happened at the tail end of 2023 there. So I really think that if Scream 7 wants to come out the gate, establishing a good name for itself, being like, oh no, this one's gonna fuck. Don't worry. Scream 7's gonna rip, bro. Kill a main character like that. Kill Chad. Like, that would be fucking crazy. Like, what? What do you mean you're killing Chad? That's nuts. I wouldn't expect that. Even talking about it, I wouldn't expect that. Even just because I'm theorizing about it doesn't mean I think it's actually going to happen, right? So if they were to do something like that out the gate, I'd be like, okay, I'm listening. I'm seated. Let's go. I'm chewing on my popcorn. Let's see where this goes next. That would be crazy. It would make me sad because I love Mason Gooding. But again, I don't think anyone should be safe in a slasher franchise. I heard from YouTubers that the trailer for Scream 7 is in September this year, till January next or February next. Bro, we won't know anything about the trailer until they're done shooting the movie, man. I'll tell you that much. Whoever those YouTubers are, man, I wouldn't trust them. Yeah, dude, big thing about movie trailers and post-production, basically that anything that happens after post-production is we just don't know what that's going to look like until post-production is over. And we've just started production. It hasn't even happened yet, technically, right? Production starts tomorrow for Scream 7, and we'll be talking about how that all goes, and then we'll have a whole phase of updates where it's just talking about post-production, which is editing the movie, where obviously things can change in the edit. A great film director once said that you make a movie 3 times, or you write a movie 3 times, I should say. When you write it, when you shoot it, and when you edit it. And that is so unbelievably true. Every movie I have ever made in my entire life started as one thing, became something else while we shot it, and became even yet again another animal when we edited the damn thing down. So Chicken Man, for instance, on Friday, we're going to have a live stream here talking all about Chicken Man. I'm going to have some of the cast and crew on. It's going to be awesome after the short film comes out, and we're going to talk all about all the different things that happened on set behind the scenes. But one of those things is going to be talking about all the different renditions of what Chicken Man was going to be before we got it down to what it ultimately became. And I mean, you'll be shocked. You'll see that short and you'll be like, what do you mean it was going to be this before? Which I think some people will laugh at the original idea I had for it. But yeah, I mean, everything, every Scream 7, the way that they're looking at it right now is not going to be the way that it drops in the box office, or drops in theaters, I should say, in 2026. Trust me. Trust me on this one. Overture Films went defunct due to the box office. They just probably didn't have a whole lot of stuff coming out. That sucks. I wonder who owns the rights then to the Crazies, or if they even own the rights in the first place. Maybe they were just conjunct studio thing or something. I don't know. We'll have to look into that. Crystal Lake Slasher edits. Give it a look-see. Go online and see what's up with that. That would be cool. Dude, thank you for the $2. Thank you for all the super chats tonight. I really do appreciate your support. Same to you, Isaac. What's up, fella? Thank you. Maxine Mink's series in talks at Max. Rumor. Well, you know what's funny? That would be dope, first of all. But rumor, the fact that that's a rumor is exciting because we had Ty West talk a little bit about how he had an idea for some sort of spin-off beyond the trilogy. He specifically said a movie, I believe. I think he said a 4th film that he might make. Maybe not. It would be cool if that was the case, some sort of Maxine Mink still in Hollywood or something, fighting off, killing people in back alleys or some crazy shit. That would be nuts. I'm totally here for it. To me, though, Kevin Bacon's character is such a highlight of that film. I almost would love to see some sort of prequel to Maxine, just following that, that grimy, scummy character through the streets of LA. I think that would be really fun. Maybe even him on the case of starting to figure out who Maxine Minx is. Maybe it ties into the film somehow. I wouldn't be against that at all. Kevin Bacon was so good in that movie. I'd love to see more of him in something from the past, because obviously we can't do something in the future with that character. Spoilers, I guess. Isaac, thank you for the 2. Maxine, I don't want to say that it was one of the best of last year. I don't think it was. I think it kind of fell a little below my expectation level, but I still had a really good time with it. And after seeing a lot of people really crap on it, revisiting the film recently, I was like, man, that wasn't that terrible. That was a lot of fun, actually. It just wasn't as good as like Pearl and X, right? But I still loved Maxine a bunch, man. That movie was a ton of fun, dude. I really enjoyed that. Dean Renner, member for 2 months. Throwing in a chat like this. I love it, Dean. Thank you for your support. If Scream 7 has any balls, the opening kill should be Chad. I didn't say it. Oops. I didn't say that at all. Wasn't me. But Dean, I kind of feel you, dog. Listen, I love Chad. Like, nothing against Mason Gooding. Honestly, if I could have 100 more movies with Mason Gooding, I would favor that. That would be awesome. But if I'm writing Scream 7 and I'm thinking about what this franchise is at its core, which Scream 7, the Scream franchise, it's very meta. It's commenting on the state of horror. And now we're at the phase with Scream where it's commenting on itself. And Scream has had a lot of drama recently. Frankly, if 7 doesn't address that drama at all in any way, shape, or form, I would be shocked. Not only would I be shocked, I would be disappointed because I'd be like, dude, what? You got to make fun of yourself a little bit. With taste, hopefully. That's a tough line to walk, but you got to do something. You can't just completely ignore all that. Because if they do, it's just like, well, you're ignoring horror history then there, buddy. And that's kind of your whole thing. Poke the stick at it. Be like, do the thing. Do the thing. Come on now. So I think this would be a great way to comment on that a little bit and establish itself as yet another reboot. And then hopefully offer a good reason as to why we're watching yet another reboot in this franchise. 3rd time's the charm, baby. John, whose last name I'm going to butcher. Samagui? Samagui. Even if that's not it, I just love the word Samagui. I might have just made it up. John, what is up, my friend? How are you? I love your little cabin. And I presume in a snowy area. I love it a bunch. What's up, John? Favorite snacks to eat when watching a horror movie? A great question. My girlfriend and I discovered the extra flavor blasted, what are they called? The flavor blasted goldfish this week, which have ruined goldfish for me forever because they're so much better than the regular ones. That is what we ate all weekend watching horror movies. Which I rewatched Child's Play this weekend. That movie rips, dude. I've been watching the Chucky show. That's been like my latest injection of Chucky in my life. And I'm personally, I just wasn't crazy about the show. Going back and watching that movie, man, it's so good. Oh my God, it's so much fun. Cheesy 80s horror bliss, man. It's awesome. But that's what we were snacking on and watching all weekend. So it was a ton of fun. Popcorn is a classic, right? Speaking of cheese, I love putting like a little white cheddar shit on my popcorn. Goes hard, man. Great stuff. I'm trying to get away from pop this year. One of my many New Year's resolutions is to get back in the gym and not drink pop as much. So that's why water is all I'm having tonight. But I do love me a cherry Coke. Let me tell you. Like I used to, there was a while there where every time I was going to see a new movie, it was a cherry Coke and a small popcorn, man, because it's a flavor combination that just hits so hard, man. Oh, so good. So good. But great question, John. I'm curious what do you eat when you're watching a good horror movie? Because there's a lot of good snacks out there. Let me tell you, man. It's almost like there's too many good ones. Scott Walker, what's up, Scott? How you doing? Hi, Jake. How you been, my friend? It's been a good long time, but I'm looking forward to Scream 7. And you're looking forward to 8, 9, and 10, but 7 is what I'm looking forward to, and I do hope Matthew Lillard returns. It sounds like we're getting more Scream movies, man, which is crazy. So, Scott, you might not... the thing about more Scream movies is it means more chances for Matthew Lillard to return in the future. So, who knows? Anything is possible, my friend, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Arthur Claus is rewatching the masterpiece that is Terrifier 3. Ladies and gentlemen, it has taken us a whole 80 minutes to get into Terrifier on this stream. I apologize. But hell yeah, dog. I got to rewatching it a little while ago, which is where my most recent theory video came from. I was watching it again and I'm like, oh, that's something. That's something right there. So check that one out. Okay. Hey, again, hate to be full of myself here, but my last Terrifier 4 theory and my new Scream 7 theory, I am like rock solid on. I'm like, I feel like both of these, I'm onto something here. Both of those, I felt like were some of my better theories. And I'm like, Rock on. Let's go. I guess we'll know more about both of those and likely 2026, right? I think we'll probably get Terrifier 4 in like October 2026 if I had to guess. But we will know soon. Everyone's saying Dean said something that was really cool. Let's get back to that. She's the Dollar General, Randy. If you're talking about Mindy, that's really funny. Why not bring Mindy Meeks, the genius, to explain the rules? You know what's really... Okay, something really funny that happened just today while I was editing my Scream 7 video. My little theory is I was going to place a clip of Mindy in there. I like to do this thing recently where I'm putting clips from the actual movies I'm talking about at the very beginning of my videos, but I just couldn't find something that worked. But I was going through all of Mindy's dialogue. I was looking for something about like something from one of those scenes where she's trying to find who the killer is from the last two movies. And Madison was overhearing it, and she's like, Jesus, that was annoying. Like, and I'm like, you and probably the rest of the Scream fandom would agree, which is really funny. But I don't hate Mindy. I just feel like a lot of the writing with her character I'm not crazy about. Like, they make her character a little too like, it's almost like you're just working in a little too much of the meta dialogue, right? It's kind of, if there's any big problem that is consistent from Screams 4, 5, and 6, it's that the meta humor is a little too in your face. There's something about that original trilogy that just does it a little better than these new 3 movies in terms of meta commentary, but then, 4, 5, and 6 have their strengths that Screams 1, 2, and 3 also don't have, though. So it's a very weird franchise. It's got a whole bunch of different things going on, and that's why I love it. Isaac throwing $5 out there again. Thank you, Coraline Isaac is what I should say. Melissa Barrera said in an interview recently that she signed on to a new slasher film at Blumhouse. Ooh, I'm all about that. Well, Blumhouse is working on so many projects. It would be very tough to nail down which one she's talking about because, as we know, they're currently working with Lionsgate to make a ton of movies from their catalog of older horror movies or whatever. Like, I know they're doing like a new Blair Witch. They're not doing the Pumpkinhead, are they? I remember the Blair Witch one is the one I remember. And I did something, I did a video a little while ago talking about another property that was like moving forward with them. But there's so much shit happening over at Blumhouse, man. Some stuff that I'm actually genuinely excited for. Not a lot of the Night Swim imaginary garbage that they've been pumping out in the last couple of years. Thank God. So I think this year and hopefully moving into next year, it should be a big turnaround for Blumhouse after a little bit of a slump from them, admittedly. So I don't want to say a slump. I mean, they just had one of their biggest, their highest grossing movie ever in 2023. So you can't really call the last couple of years for Blumhouse a slump, but a lot of the quality of their movies, I feel like, has been lower than usual. So, but we'll see. Hopefully, whatever this thing is with Melissa Barrera, it fucking rocks. Fingers crossed. Love me some MB. Love me some MB, baby. I'm always here for whatever she ends up doing next. Isaac, thank you for the 5, and thank you for supporting the page. Appreciate you. Big Preach. What if the twist in 7 is that Ghostface is actually a fan of Sydney? Ooh. Next gen, my running theory, which I think would be such a great motive for a Ghostface, is someone who is kind of what you're talking about. A fan of Sydney, but wants to be the Ghostface to kill her. Wants to be the one to actually do it. Like, that's their motive. Sweet, simple, to the point. Nothing more complex than that. No family member. I'm just some random guy. I have been following the true crime history of Sidney Prescott. And you know what? I think it fucking sucks that the last Ghostfaces weren't even going after you. It's like the franchise is steered off course or something. So here I am, Sidney, whoever I am, and I'm going to stab you in the throat. Like, wouldn't that be a great motive for Scream 7? I feel like that would fucking rip. I don't even care who it is. If that's the motive, I'm going to love this film. If it's the most obvious twist in Scream history, I don't care. Hell, if it's Stu, I don't even care. It'd just be really cool to have that be the motive. It's like, I want to be the one I want to be the one to take you down, Sydney. I don't know. Something like that. Put me in, coach. Let me play that. Let me play that Ghostface. That would be awesome. The Crystal Lake Slasher edits, throwing $2 out there, saying Stars closed Overture Films due to underperforming. Yes, but the question now is who owns the rights to the Crazies. I'm just going to look it up because I'm curious. The Crazies Who owns the rights? The person or company that arranged for the production of a film usually owns the copyrights. Okay, that doesn't help. I know that. Is there anything about like legacy with this film or something? No. The Crazies, 1973. I don't know. Not seeing anything. Dips right from the source. Yeah, again, not a whole lot going on with the Crazies lately. Well, I'll have to research that on my own time, my friend, but hopefully we get an answer sometime soon. Again, this is a movie series, a little franchise here that could totally come back. I could totally see it happening, especially with 28 years later potentially being successful at the box office this year. I'm leaning towards yes on that one. So again, thank you for the 2, and you're still just running it with the Crazies. Let's see it. Scream Gems will likely get the rights to the Crazies. That would be cool. Screen Gems makes a lot of good horror, man. I do like a lot of the movies that come from them, especially some of the later Insidious flicks, which I know most people hate, but like Insidious 1-4 rock, in my opinion. I love those a ton. The fourth one is the one that I feel like gets the most shit. And 4 is like, I don't know, that scared the fuck out of me. Insidious 4. I really liked that one. The story wasn't perfect. You know, there was a lot of moments in that film where I'm like, what is going on? But I had a very fun time with Insidious, The Last Key. The only one I'm like just not crazy about is the newest one, but I'm excited to see whatever happens with Insidious 6 and Threads, man, which is the Insidious spinoff. I think Screen Gems were involved. All right, they're still involved, right? So we'll see. But Crystal Lake, thank you for the 2. Big preach. And Isaac's throwing $2 more out there saying she said it's witchy. We're having so many conversations right now. I'm like actually forgetting what we were talking about here. Oh, Melissa Barrera. Okay, so this is the Melissa Barrera Blumhouse movie, saying it's a slasher film that's witchy. What could that be? Could it be The Craft potentially, like a new take on that? That would be fun to see. You know, the new Scream lead be the new The Craft lead. That would be fun. I believe Blumhouse owns the rights to that because didn't Blumhouse do the sequel, the Craft sequel that was rough with Kaylee Spaney? Skip it if you haven't seen it. Trust me. But that would be cool. That'd be really cool to see them do a new take on The Craft, like an original, you know, not a sequel because we don't need that. I'm into that. I'd be into Melissa Barrera doing some witch shit. That'd be fun. But Isaac, thank you for the 2 again. Appreciate you. Thank you for your support. The Crystal Lake Slasher Edits throwing another $2 out there saying Lionsgate owns Overture Films Library. Well, there you go. Maybe we just can't get off Blumhouse right now, can we? Maybe Blumhouse ends up doing this one because, again, going back to a story we were talking about earlier, Blumhouse and Lionsgate are collaborating recently to bring back a lot of their old properties into successful modern horror franchises. And one of them, the biggest one, the most controversial one, I should say, is the Blair Witch Project because the people who made the original are kind of pissed about that. They don't get paid shit for that original Blair Witch because of some rights bullshit, which really sucks. So now, Lionsgate is talking about making a new one, and they're just like, what the fuck? You know, where's my royalties? Where's my cameo in the new movie? Come on now. What's going on here? What's happening? So yeah, that's something I hope they figure out because the Blair Witch people deserve better for sure. But I do like the idea of, you know, bringing back the Crazies. I think that would be a really good one-off. Stop trying to make a trilogy out of everything, though. Blumhouse, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, Blumhouse. We don't need a trilogy of everything. I know you want that sweet, sweet horror money. I get it. But if something's good and people really like it, then decide to make a trilogy out of it. What you guys did with Halloween was awesome, but keep doing that. Don't stray from the path. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. Crystal Lake Slasher Edits. Let's hope we get one Crazies movie sometime in the future. A new modern reboot. Give us something, baby. Thanks for the 2. Thank you. Oh shit, Hollywood Guy has been a member for 18 months. That's a long time. You could have 2 babies in that time period. That's crazy. What's up, Hollywood Guy? How's it going? Jake, you forgot to say that Hollywood Guy was the other Ghostface. How did you forget? Con! Sorry. Kidding, bro. Your channel is fun. Big props. So much love to you. Hollywood guy, you're so kind. You've been supporting the page for so long, and I'm glad you love the channel. Makes me really happy. I'm trying to make it so much better here in 2025. I have some crazy plans. Some big things are happening in 2025 for realsies, not fucking around or nothing. So it's going to be an even better year than last year. But Hollywood guy, thank you for your continued support. It means a ton to Jake, and I really hope that you like the Scream 7 coverage on this page. Michael Parton's throwing $5 out there. You got a little smiley face in in your name there. Not your well, I guess you're smiling in your profile picture too. I love it. Smiles all around positivity. I'm super excited for Wolfman, and I hope it's going to be awesome so we can get James Wan's Creature and also rooting more for Companion than Heart Eyes. Dude, Wolfman is in my top 10 of most anticipated from 2025. It is a body horror take on the Wolfman inspired by movies like The Thing and The Fly, two of my all-time favorite horror films. So I feel like I'm going to love this one. This might be my favorite horror film of the year right out the gate, man. Like, I don't even, that's crazy. So very excited to see what this is all about. And also, yeah, James Wan is doing Creature from the Black Lagoon, which, guys, there's a reason I have this poster right here, Creature. It is one of my favorite old movies ever. I love it. I think it's a super impressive old movie that does not get enough love. I've been saying for years, I'm like, we need a Creature from the Black Lagoon remake. Like, this would be so good in the modern day, and so scary. Aquatic horror is excellent. So bring it on, James Wan. I cannot wait. Ugh. What are we more excited for? James Wan doing Creature from the Black Lagoon or Lee Winnell doing The Wolfman? That's what I'm excited to hear. I'm excited to see what people say about that. One thing I'll say this about the Wolfman. Some people don't like the design. Some people want a more traditional feeling Wolfman, that looks like the original. And I hear you. I hear you on that for sure. I have a video coming out about this particular thing, actually, at some point. It's already written. I just got to film it. But we got a lot of news this week. I don't know when I'm going to get that out. But point being, I think some people are not going to like this entry because the Wolfman doesn't necessarily look like the Wolfman we all know and love. It's supposed to be a new take on it, just like Lee Winnell's Invisible Man, which was the same thing. That Invisible Man did not look like the original OG Invisible Man, and I'm okay with that. I'm going into it with that knowledge, and I'm accepting the fact that this isn't going to be your granddaddy's Wolfman, right? And I am also really rooting for Companion. That's going to be a really fun one. What I like about that trailer so much is we learned nothing about the movie. We just know that Jack Quaid is doing something awful to Sophie Thatcher after some kind of horrible date. It's got some fresh vibes to it. If you guys remember that movie from like 2023, I really liked that one. That was fun with Daisy Edgar Jones and Sebastian Stan. My girlfriend loves that movie too. But I can't wait to see what Companion's all about, man. It's from the Barbarian producers. It looks wild. It's got a great cast. But I'm excited for Hard Eyes too, man. Mason Gooding and, what's her name? Olivia Holt. I couldn't remember. I was like, drawing a blank there. But those two in that movie, it's coming from Josh Rubin, who I love as a director. And also Christopher Landon and Michael Kennedy writing the script. I think it's going to be good. I think all these movies that we're talking about are going to be good. So, Michael, it's going to be a fun year for horror, and it's only getting brighter from here, man. So thank you for the 5. Do appreciate you a bunch. Scott believes that Scream 7 is going to be a 2-parter. I'm here for that. I'm here for a 2-parter. I've been wanting a cliffhanger ending in Scream since the very beginning, man. So, hopefully, fingers crossed. Demon King is one of the biggest slasher movie fanatics. I love it. I love slashers too. I've always wanted to do my own slasher. I love them so much. Goran is saying Scream 7 will likely be a 2-part movie because that was the idea for 4, Jill surviving. And now Kevin Williamson is once again at the helm for the franchise, so maybe he's making some big old creative decisions, some big old swings. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for some ambition. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of at the point with Scream where I would rather them do something ambitious and fail than to just do the same formulaic thing over again and just maybe it's something fun, whatever. But I want them to swing for the fences, man. Scream 6, not all of it worked, admittedly, but they swung for the fences. I know there's a lot of people that hate that movie and say it's just a ripoff of 2. I don't get that. To me, Scream 6 and Scream 2 are wildly different movies, going for 2 totally different things. I guess the killers are a little similar, but that's the only thing, man. I don't know. Everything about those movies are completely wildly different. Scream 6 is such a punk rock film, where Scream 2 is kind of just doing the first movie again at college, right? So I don't know, man. I really liked 6, and again, not everything worked. Even as a fan of that film, I can admit not everything worked. I hope 7 is in the same arena of just, let's swing, let's see what happens, let's see what sticks. Because there was some things about 6 that is really good to me in a way that none of the other films are, and that is what makes that film so special. And I'm hoping to see the same from 7, but in a different light, right? I don't want to see just a copy of Scream 6. That movie already exists. I hope that Scream 7 can try some other stuff out, but I'm here for it, whatever they end up doing. What else is going on? I am honestly worried that Chad might be the opening kill. He's the only Core 4 member back, and it doesn't add up without Mindy there. Scream 3 was Cotton, and they followed the path of repeat. So they might kind of follow a similar thing, right? Because Cotton was killed at the beginning of Scream 3, who, technically was a legacy character at that time. Killing him off is to say, this Ghostface is super brutal. So yeah, maybe they will follow in that path. Again, I'm not against it as long as it works with the story, as long as it, builds up our Ghostface as being the baddest one yet, which I think 7 needs to at least attempt to do. Will it be successful at that? I don't know, but this is a good start. That would be a good start, man. What else is going on here? Yeah, please don't fight in the chat. That's no fun. We don't fight here. We're only here to love. Save the fighting for the movies. Crystal Lake Slasher Edits is saying DreamWorks Dogman and Companion come out the same day. That's going to be rough for Companion. Again, a lot of these kids movies are just going to beat the shit out of any horror comparison, unfortunately. But the other thing you got to think about, though, Crystal Lake Slasher Edits, is that the people going to Dogman are not the same people going to Companion. So although, you're going to have a lot of people at the theaters going to see the new kids movie, it's probably a different core audience, right? So Companion may not be number 1 at the box office, but I don't think Dogman is stealing folks away from... I don't think people are going to go to the theaters be like, I'm going to go see this new crazy horror man, and be like, there's a new DreamWorks film out? Psh! They rip the ticket up. They're like, fuck that. I want to see Dogman. No, it's not going to be like that. So Dogman may beat it in box office numbers, but again, they're not stealing people away. If it was a horror movie, though, that would be some trouble, some murky waters, one might say. Crystal Lake, thank you for the 2. I don't know why this just came to mind, but I want to throw this out there for my members out there. Something I want to start doing is having my members give me phrases to incorporate into streams. This is something I see. There's a news guy. There's a news broadcaster guy who incorporates lyrics from songs into his weather report for the day. And something I wanted to ask my members to do for me recently is I should ask them to have them incorporate song lyrics into the stream and try to find a way to do it. Cause, I go for 2 hours. I can figure that out, right? That'd be fun. Be fun to do. So that's something I wanted to bring up. I'm curious what you guys thought about that, if that would be funny, to run that during a stream or something. But anyways, Hollywood Guy throwing $5 out there. Again, thank you for supporting the page. You guys are being very generous tonight. It means a ton to old Jake. I just hope that they don't drag the Scream movies out for too long. What other motives would there be? Well, that is really the question, Hollywood Guy. I think that depending on the character, there could be an unlimited amount of motives, but the problem is Scream always wants to connect back to the original. And I respect it, but you don't need to do that to keep a franchise going. I mean, look at the Evil Dead series, man. The last 2 entries, most of the entries technically don't connect back to the original. Going all the way back to the first sequel, Evil Dead 2. They are already changing things about the first movie to make that film work. And then Army of Darkness does the same thing. And then you won't believe this, but Evil Dead 2013 does that. Evil Dead Rise also does that. And Evil Dead Burn will probably be another isolated story. So for me, I think if Scream wants to do something along those lines, I'm not against it. If they want to just do an isolated Ghostface story, I think that would work, and I think it would be successful if they had good characters, of course, because that is a big factor for these films being successful. I'm not, again, this is not me dissing the characters we already have. I love the legacy characters, and I am so excited to see at least Sydney and Gale back. for this new movie. Fingers crossed Patrick Dempsey and Kirby are in this one, though. I love seeing those characters, man. They're great. But for me, if the motive for Scream 7, if the killer in Scream 7 is just Sidney's long lost, I don't know, another brother. It's another brother. It's a second cousin or something. I'm just like, man, okay, you're out of ideas. Just admit you're out of ideas and do something else. So to me, those are my thoughts. These are my thoughts with the Scream franchise. I love it. I love this series so much. Ton of fun. But man, give me some other motives. I was just watching the Scooby-Doo movie, the first one. And I fucking love the twist in that film. I think it's great. I don't think it's, I don't know if it's the greatest twist ending to a movie ever, but it works so well with the whole idea of meta commentary, right? Scrappy-Doo, spoiler alert, I guess. Scrappy-Doo is the killer at the end of that movie. And it's, not the killer, but the guy doing all the ghost shit, ripping souls out of bodies. And it's very much so set up like a Scream film in that way. I love that twist so much because it is only ever referenced like at one point earlier in the film. It's a genuinely good twist, even for a kid's movie. I don't give a shit what anyone says. It's a good twist. My thing about it is that there are a ton of red herrings in that movie, a ton of people it could have been. And then Scrappy-Doo was only ever mentioned in one little scene, one little throwaway scene. You think that is completely useless, but ends up being the crux of the story. I love it. I want to see something I want to see some crazy shit like that in Scream. I don't care. Make fun of me. Tell me, oh, it's a kid's movie, Jake. That was obvious. I don't care. It's so good. It's well written. James Gunn knows how to write a script, baby. That's why I'm excited for Superman. But point being, give me something fresh with Scream. Don't make it another Prescott family member. Show me somebody else who wants to kill Sydney and her daughter, which it's probably going to be McKenna Grace, but we'll see. Hollywood Guy, thank you for being a member for 18 months. Thank you for supporting the page, throwing a little $5 out there. And I hope you enjoy the coverage because we're getting into the Scream 7 production coverage starting tomorrow, baby. Oh, yeah. Imagine a horror Muppet movie. Thank you for the 2 Crystal Lake Slasher edits, like the Happy Time Murders. We were just talking about the Happy Time Murders. I was talking about this with my buddy Connor, and this conversation ended up leading to talks about this film called Meet the Feebles, which I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this movie, if you are even interested in watching this movie, but it's an early Peter Jackson flick. Fuck, words are hard. I need to drink a little water here. Meet the Feebles. It's an early Peter Jackson flick that I have come to love. I love a lot of his movies, but this one, man, I have a very special place in my heart for it. Now, it's basically like the evil Muppets, like what you're describing. And they're just like misanthropic versions of pretty much the same characters, right? It's a lot of just commentary on human beings and very negative outlook on it, but it's all, for fun. I just love it. I think it's an excellent movie, Meet the Feebles. I think it's kind of a masterpiece in its own right, even though it was very much so reviewed poorly, but man, I love it. It's one of those like just hidden gems in my opinion that I really enjoy. And if you want like a horror version of like a Muppet movie, definitely check out Meet the Feebles. And it's free here on YouTube. Like someone uploaded it on YouTube. I probably shouldn't be saying that, but that's the only place I could find it. But I think it's a crazy underrated movie. Like it's so good. And even Eric knows it. Even Eric is like, Meet the Feebles is insanely great. It is so good. And it's cool to see Peter Jackson's roots, his very, very weird roots. That guy made Lord of the Rings, and he also made this movie where I don't even want to spoil it. There's a hippo with a machine gun. That's all I'm going to say. If that's not enough to get you to watch it, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Next Gen is asking, what's a legacy sequel you want? I don't know if I want, I don't know if there's any legacy sequels I'm particularly like fiending for, but there are a lot of remakes I want to see happen. Obviously Creature from the Black Lagoon, in terms of, movie franchises being continued, that's probably the one I'm like the most excited for. But the movie that I want to see be remade by a very specific director is Society from 1989, remade by Brandon Cronenberg. Tell me that wouldn't be fucking awesome. here's my Brandon Cronenberg, just like his father, is a master at what he does. A lot of people would mistake Brandon for having the same exact style as David, but I think Brandon kind of has his own vibe. It's a little more, it's a little less body horror, and it's a little more commentary, like dark commentary. Speaking of the word misanthropic, which I'm just fucking in love with lately, he's very misanthropic. He's very much so likes to comment on the study of people and how we do things in a poor way. Society. And I think Society would just be a perfect movie for that. It would be a perfect movie for him because it's got that body horror. You know, it's got that third act crazy amount of body horror, but it is also a commentary. It's a class commentary, right? So I feel like that movie being remade nowadays with some excellent practical effects, with Brandon Cronenberg at the helm, maybe writing and directing, would be fucking excellent. So if I could wish any movie into existence, any sort of remake, it would be that, because I love Society so much and I need another good shunting. You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. God damn it. Come on now. The Dark Crystal is great too. Dark Crystal is fun. I like Dark Crystal. Meet the Feebles is one I just found recently that I just wasn't expecting. I was like, wow, that was way better than what I thought. Society, yes. Society waits for you. The shunting climax. That sounds really sexual, but I guess that movie is, well, yeah. You're right. Crystal Lake Slasher Edits is saying Happy Time Murders was too comedy focused than dark. Yeah. For sure. The only thing I remember from that movie is actually, it's kind of a Meet the Feebles reference now that I'm thinking about it. They're like filming a something adult film, let's say, in the back room with like a cow puppet and a bunch of like milk is squirting out of it or something. That's all I remember from that entire movie. That's the only thing. But it's got a pretty good voice cast from what I remember. Let me actually look this up. Believe it or not, I saw this movie in the theaters because I just love crazy Muppet movies. Who's in this? Yeah, Melissa McCarthy. Isn't like Joel McHale? Yeah, Joel McHale is in this. Elizabeth Banks, Maya Rudolph. It's got a crazy cast, and it's not great. I think that's my big thing about it. I thought it would be funnier than it ended up being, and I don't know. It just didn't blow me away. A lot of these weird like puppet movies I actually do really like. Team America World Police is one of those that like it's one of those movies that just cracks me up. It shouldn't, and goddamn, the humor is the humor is rough in that one, but I crack up every time I watch it. It is so very funny. But Happy Time Murders, it felt like it was going to be in the same vein as something like that. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if it was like laugh out loud hilarious or if it leaned into the darkness as much as what you're talking about. But it is kind of hard to not be silly when you're making a movie with puppets. That's what I will say. So Crystal Lake Slasher Edits, thank you for the $2. Do appreciate that. Floppy puppets just make me laugh. I don't know. They just crack me up. Team America is gold. I agree. It's Team America. It's one of those movies that will just, I don't think anything like it will ever happen again, and I'm totally fine with that. Any news on Halloween, asks John from his awesome looking cabin with his delicious beverage. Any news on the TV show I imagine you're talking about? Not a whole lot. I really thought we would get some more news before 2025, and man, we haven't had anything to talk about really, which is it's a big shame because me personally, I feel like we got cheated out of a third Michael movie personally with Halloween Ends, and I'm really fiending for more. I'm really fiending for some more Michael, which I think some people are just like sick of it. You know, some people are just like, I'm done. Like I'm done with Michael. Let's do something else. I don't know. Me personally, after Halloween Kills was great, but after Halloween Ends, I'm like, I feel like I need one more. I'm like, I got cheated out of my last Michael movie. Give me something else. Give me a whole TV series. I need it. So I'm really hoping that show's good. I'm really hoping it's Michael focused and not anything else focused, because dear God, give me something. Give me something with Michael. Hang on now. King Matthew III is saying, I'm just holding out hope. But with all the revivals on movies and shows recently, I wish that maybe Neve Campbell can reunite to make a new Party of Five show. That could be fun. That's where she got her. That's kind of like her big break, right? That was like her first big thing before Scream. So that'd be fun. A lot of things are getting revived, man. You know, I'm always looking out for the originals personally, but it is fun to, you know, talk about these franchise continuations and see what they do new. The Wolfman, you know, I'm very excited for that one. I can't even lie. That one looks like a lot of fun, but I think I'm really excited for that one because it is a very fresh take on the Wolfman formula, you know? So many people want to see true to the original continuations, and I respect it. I love it. But me personally, I'm always looking for what's the new thing, you know, what's the new story you can tell. Maybe standing on the shoulders of giants, maybe in the form of a remake, but slightly different. That's what I'm always looking out for those. I'm contemplating if I should write the script for my cerebral killer cow movie starring Bill Hader. I was not ready for like the last 7 words of that at all. Next gen, cerebral killer cow movie starring Bill Hader. I can't even say it. I'm laughing so hard. Wow, that's gonna just fly off the page, bro. You're gonna just Bill Hader's gonna have to be in it. With that premise, that's crazy. I love it so much. I would just throw like a $1 million at that if I could. Goran with his big blue truck. I love it. Saying, Jake, you'd need to have an appearance in T4. Fingers crossed, baby. Fingers crossed. Look, Damien promised to me on Twitter that I could be in T4. So that's a binding contract, Damien. I don't know what to tell you. I'll see y'all on set. You know, that's all. That's what I'll say. I'll do craft services. I don't give a shit. If I can just be there while they're doing Art the Clown gibberish, I don't even have to be in the film. I just want to be the fucking guy running around with snacks or something. I would do that in a heartbeat. Chest embarrassing. Any news on Patrick Dempsey? Nothing quite yet, but like, dude, he's in the film. He's going to be in the film. They can't do this movie without him. What? They're going to do a movie about Sydney's daughter and not have Patrick Dempsey in there? You got to be fucking joking. That's crazy. I hope they don't do a thing where they're like divorced, though. That is something I thought about recently. I'm like, what if they're divorced? And I'm like, no, that would suck. That would suck so much balls. Get Patrick Dempsey in there. Sup, Jake? Are you looking forward to any horror movies for 2025? No, none of them. I'm kidding. For me, it's definitely 28 Years Later. Yeah, no, that one is like top of my list. That one and Wolfman are probably the two I'm the most excited for this year, which I literally just said I'm the most excited for originals, and here are 2 sequels that a sequel and a remake that I'm the most excited for. No, but there's a lot of other stuff coming out in 2025. There's going to be some surprises, dude. I didn't even know about The Substance until like maybe September or August, I want to say. I think like August, I saw a trailer for it and I'm like, ooh, this looks good. And it was awesome. It's my favorite movie of last year. So those originals are going to poke their little heads out and it's going to be like, oh shit, this looks good. So those movies are the ones that I'm excited for. The ones that don't get a whole lot of rep and that just come out of nowhere. But yeah, those two definitely top of my list. Wolfman, 28 Years Later. Those are going to bang. Those are going to be awesome. Birthday guesser, can you guess my birthday? Is saying excited for Scream 7. Can't wait till we see the photos from filming. Hell yeah. Dude, me too, man. I'm very excited for some set photos. I want to see, you know, honestly, the big thing I'm the most excited for is not just the characters, but honestly, some of the sets. I'm curious to see how they do some of the chase scenes, like where, you know, is this gonna be another like residential feeling Scream movie, or are we gonna get some like, you know, some crazy chases through some new locations? I don't know, you know. Who knows what all these characters are, where they're gonna die and how they're gonna die, right? That's the fun of it. That's the fun of getting into all this and guessing, I guess, right? I can't wait to make honestly, the theory videos are the thing I'm the most excited for. Once we get these photos, you know, to be like, oh, this could be that. Honestly, one of my favorite videos I did for Scream 6, which I was totally wrong about, but I don't even care because it was so much fun talking about it. Was talking about Laura Crane's character in Scream 6. We all thought that she was like in a stab musical. That she was like the Gale, essentially, getting maybe being our killer in the new movie. Because the idea with that was that like maybe she's a dark reflection of Gale. You know, she's like a young reporter on the scene. She's going for Gale's job at the news at the news center. I thought that was so much fun. I thought that was sick to talk about that, and I still would have loved that twist. But it is really cool that she was the opening scene nonetheless. Anyways, the Crystal Lake Slasher Edits is saying, ha, company made Happy Time Murders, but it flopped. It did flop. I think I was one of the only persons to see it in theaters. Fun fact, but still a good time nonetheless. Had a good time with that one. Thank you for the 2 though. I appreciate it, man. That was a fun one. I don't know. I didn't hate it, but it just wasn't great. Lollipop Sanchez is saying Jake might surprise us in Scream 7 as the killer. I wish, man. I wish I was in that one, man. That would be so cool. I would love just the littlest cameo, just the smallest little something. Poke my head in and poke it out. That would be fun. But unfortunately, no. I have gotten sucked into the Pooniverse, though. Can someone remind me who was Patrick Dempsey playing in Scream? Because I forgot he was Mark Kincaid in Scream 3, the hot cop that was like, hey, Sydney, how you doing, boo? How you doing, hot stuff? That's a quote from Scream 3, too. That is definitely dialogue from that film. Should they do a season of The Witch reboot miniseries for HBO with Flanagan? Oh, that would be awesome. Could it even be set in the same world as Michael? Jesus, that's nuts. Mike Flanagan doing Season of the Witch is like the greatest thing ever, and I never even thought about that until now, Next Gen. But for me, Season of the Witch is that third movie. That's everyone talks about wanting more Season of the Witch, and my thing is that's such a hard film to replicate. And after learning more about that one, I did a big deep dive on it on this page a little while back. It didn't get a ton of views, but for those who watched it, I appreciate you. What I learned is that the original script was written by a guy who was going for a little more of like a straightforward, like thriller kind of horror, and then they rewrote it and implemented some more like cheesier B-movie 80s elements into it, which is so interesting to me because I've never seen that movie as anything but I guess there is some sophistication to it when you really, sit down and think about it. There is. I mean, there's some great commentary in there too, which is awesome. So I love Season of the Witch so much. I think it is an excellent film. And I'm really excited to see if they do anything else with that property. Obviously there's been references to it in the most recent Halloween trilogy that we just got. The kids who are walking around with the Season of the Witch masks. Could they do more with that, though, with that concept? It's tough to say. It really is tough to say because I don't want to know what happens after the cliffhanger, even though there is a novelization of Halloween 3 that you can read where you get the answer to that, which I don't need the answer personally. I don't need that at all. But if they were to reboot it, tell that story again in a miniseries done by Mike Flanagan, I mean, that would almost be this weird dream come true. Something like I didn't even know I needed, but would be a ton of fun. Mike Flanagan and Kate Siegel just write the best shit, dude. Those two together, they can do anything. Their VHS segment is like genuinely one of the best ones. If you guys haven't seen VHS Beyond yet, so good. For the love of rock. What's up, fella? Saying, now there is a shot for a Demi Moore Oscar this year. Horror at the Academy. I hope. I don't want to get my hopes up, though, because the Academy rarely recognizes really good movies. Which sounds crazy, right? It used to be, winning an Oscar used to mean something. Now, not really. I'm like, wow, this sucks. I don't, man, my whole life, I have wanted to be a big filmmaker or something. Ever since I was young, I'm like, oh, I want to make movies. And now I'm at this weird place in my creative process where I don't even know if I care about getting a movie on like a streaming platform or not. I have this found footage movie idea, which we want to shoot this year. And I think we could do it for a pretty low budget. It's a really cool idea. It's like a single location thing, which would be nuts. And honestly, I think I could make a few phone calls and get it on like Tubi or something. But I'm at the point where I'm like, I kind of just want to make weird shit and post it on the internet for a low budget. Like I kind of don't even care about something like potentially working my way up to making some sort of drama that goes up for an Academy Award. I mean, there was a time and place where maybe Jake was thinking that, but now I'm just like, I don't even care. I don't care about that. Like, I kind of want to just make my own little weird short films and put them on YouTube and see what comes of it. So I don't know, it's weird. I want horror to win more Academy Awards and I don't at the same time. It's this weird back and forth I have in my brain. Cause what does that even, winning an Oscar these days doesn't even mean what it means anymore. What it used to mean, I should say. So I would love this. This would be a great honor and Demi Moore absolutely deserves it. But man, the Oscars haven't recognized so many good movies, which sucks. Sucks balls. Screen Gems should do a schizo bear horror movie. What is, I don't even know what that is. Is that a thing? Do I have to look this up? Am I going to find something awful? I don't even know what that is. But all right. But okay, you know what? I'm not sure what that is. But I would love to see some more Screen Gems horror movies. That's what I'll say. Thank you for supporting the page, my friend. King Matthew III, my liege. Hey, Jake, which horror franchise would you love to cameo in, Scream 7 or Terrifier 4? I feel like I could do more in a cameo for Terrifier 4 than a Scream 7 cameo. I don't know if I don't know what they would have me. Like, I could do the Dead Meat thing, but Dead Meat already did that, you know? I would rather, honestly, I would rather get killed by Art the Clown because it would be a lot of hours in a makeup chair, and I'm here for that. Like, personally, I would love to do something like that. I would love to get ripped to shreds by Art. It would be an honor. A genuine honor of a lifetime for Art the Clown to rip my face off. Jet is saying drama, boo. What was I? Was I even talking about drama? I was just talking about the Oscars. Is that drama to you? KillJoy, Jake hates the Oscars. What? Is that, I don't feel like that's like an unpopular, weird, out of nowhere take either. That the guy that loves horror movies doesn't appreciate the Oscars for not giving awards out to the movies I love. I don't know. I feel like that's not the most harsh take. The letter A, which stands for Art the Clown, apparently, is saying Art the Clown in space. Everybody, a lot of people want this after. Oh, I thought you would make a drama. Oh, Jet's saying I thought you would make a drama. I thought you were saying you're talking about drama. Boo. You don't like drama. I hear you, Jet. No, in that case, I love that. And I love this Jet that is commenting in the chat right now. What is up, Jet? How's it going? How's it going, buddy? Yeah, no, I just want to make my weird little horror movies. I want to make a comedy one day, though. That's another big thing. How do you feel about that? Is that a boo, Jet? I'm curious. Art the Clown in space, though. This is like a big thing after that fake poster came out. Everyone thinks that Art the Clown's going to go to space in Terrifier 4, but that is not the case. That is just a little fake trailer that came out. Or fake poster, I should say. Honestly, I think that Terrifier 4 is going to be another holiday movie, if I'm being real. I don't know, what holiday. I wanted. This is another video I've had on the back burner for a long time. Because I want to talk about all the different holidays that Terrifier could take place on. But we'll see. We'll see what's up. I would love to see Art the Clown during Easter for the next one personally. That's the one I'm like at the top of my list. But I've heard some really good ideas for 4th of July, for like a 4th of July Art the Clown rendition, which would be a ton of fun. That would be cool. A few more chats, and I think old Jake is gonna sign off here. Thank you for hanging out with me for 2 hours tonight, though, everybody. Crystal Lake Slasher Edits, who I think just wins Super Chatter of the night. You're killing it, man. If you type Schizo the Bear, that's what it is. I have a lot of things to research after this stream, Crystal Lake Slasher Edits, and that is one of them. So since I'm getting off, I'm gonna check that one out for sure. But dude, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for the 2. Thanks for the crazy amount of super chats tonight too. Appreciate you. Madison, I hope you feel better. So sorry you're sick. Makes me sad. I'm glad I'm not feeling too sick, which I really thought I would be feeling more sick, but thankfully I'm not. The letter A is saying I think it'll be Easter for the religious tie-in with the plot. I totally agree. Jet wants me to make a movie about a hillbilly vampire. That's pretty, like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing with vampires. That could work. That could actually really work. And A. Warren Johnson, who's just coming in at the end of the stream with an awesome doggo as the profile picture. I love it. Saying aliens would make a great stand-in for angels in the Terrifier series. Ooh, that's interesting. Like accurate, biblically accurate angels or whatever that are really fucking scary. I'm here for it. Also, Valentine's Day would make the most sense for Terrifier 4. I love the Valentine's Day one too. That's something I would want to bring up. That's really something I would want to bring up if I ever made that video talking about which holiday Terrifier 4 should be set on. Because, I mean, think about Art the Clown with little, like a Cupid's bow, pulling that and shooting it into someone's leg. That's a whole kill. That's a whole sequence right there. He's got little like heart, like big heart eyes or something, just like the movie that comes out in a month. That could be great. I'm just saying. I mean, that writes itself. A. Warren Johnson. And Madison is talking about how I'm basically immune to COVID. I don't know how I haven't gotten it yet. Ladies and gentlemen, since 2020, I still have not gotten COVID. I don't know how. I don't know how I've avoided it. My family has had it on multiple occasions now, and I am still just not sick. Like my voice is a little roached because I've been talking nonstop for 2 hours, but I don't know. I'm not sick. I got sick like in December, but I'm pretty sure I just had the flu because I took a test. Nothing. I took a test just now, like literally yesterday, came back negative. I don't have it. And I've been in a house with 3 people who have COVID for like 3 days. It makes no sense. Make it make sense. But yeah, I guess I'm immune. I don't even know how that happens, but it's nuts. Madison, I'm so sorry you're sick, my friend. Crystal Lake Slasher throwing $2 more out there. Again, thank you for the support. Heart Eyes and Love Hurts, same day release. It's going to be a tough Valentine's Day for some people. A lot of people getting killed on Valentine's Day. Isn't Love Hurts like an action movie? It's like action Valentine's Day thing, right? It's got like a bloody poster, so that's what I assumed. But I might have to see that one too. That's crazy. I can't wait for both of these though. Hard Eyes looks crazy. I hope it's a really good slasher. I think it's going to be the best Josh Rubin film to date as well. But we'll see. We'll see what's up. Dude, thank you again for the support tonight. Really do appreciate you a bunch. Keep editing those Crystal Lake Slasher videos. I love it. King Matthew III, one last comment. We're going to peace out. Hey, Jake, imagine if they remake Friends with Courtney Cox returning. Didn't they just do like a Friends? I was going to say, didn't they just do like a Cox? Jesus. Didn't they just do like a Friends thing or something? Like a throwback to Friends? Or was that like an interview? I don't remember. There's something on HBO Max I remember seeing. So not sure what's up with that. But Lollipop Sanchez is throwing another 2 in there. Thank you guys so much. Y'all are the best. Bluey versus Art the Clown. Art the Clown is ripping little Bluey to shreds, dog. He's just like, whoosh. It's going to be awful. Blood, guts, dog poop. Jesus, what a way to end this stream. That's terrible. Lollipop Sanchez, I love your Stu profile picture. And thank you for the support. Sorry about that terrible image. So much love to you guys. Again, I can't say it enough. You guys are amazing. It's been so much fun talking horror with you on a Monday. And like I said, it's been kind of a rough day, but you guys made it a lot better. So thank you for hanging out with me and talking me through this craziness that was this day. So thank you all again for hanging out with me. Again, I will be live on Wednesday talking a little bit about doing a watch party stream, and we're going to stream the first couple minutes, probably just the first minute of Chicken Man, and then I'm going to cut it off. But Chicken Man comes out this Friday, and on Friday night on this channel, we're going to be talking about it with some of the cast and crew. So please stop on by for that. It is going to be a great conversation. We're going to be talking about behind the scenes stories. It's going to be nuts. Thank you all again for joining me. I'll see you guys later in the week. I'm going to have a ton of videos this week too, so make sure to check them out. Sorry about the Midwestern. Goodbye. Peace out, everybody. Don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.